logic and cheese.
Hello and welcome, MAGE. At last, you guys do not know how hard it has been for me not to talk about it. I saw that Bob the Science Guy, who's known about it for a short while, he said in the side chat that he's been busting to tell people. At last, it's out in the open. I'm not, and I cannot, I'm afraid, say hello to everyone, other than as a general level, hello everyone. I'm so pleased that so many of you joined me. I'm going to start off with a few thank yous. Firstly, because I can see it right there, big thanks Osvaldo Greco, who turned my artwork into a thing of beauty. Thank you very much, Osvaldo. And the MAGE intro music was created for me by Chris Durham Music. Sorry, I forgot the exact name now of the channel. Chris Durham Music Channel. The link is in the description. Thank you very much for that, Chris. Excellent. I also want to say massive thanks to Colon, who, as ever, has been doing an excellent job in the green room. He's an unsung hero, so I'm singing about him. Thank you very much, C. I appreciate all you have done. I'd also like to say thank you to the channels that have shielded this out for today. And I'm just going to have a double check. Yes, I got my sound on. I told you didn't need to worry about the sound, Colon. The channels who have shielded this out, I know that quite a few have. Thank you very much. Some notable ones, Where's Wally, who did a great little video a couple of days ago, Bob the Science Guy, who gave a shout out earlier on this evening, and Simon Dan, who gave me a massive shout, and looking at this, 240 odd subscribers today. Thank you very much. And of course, thank you to everybody who has super chatted, everybody who has become a member, and my lovely patrons who are listed across the top. Because of all you guys, I've been able to go ahead with MAGE. I really hope that you all enjoy the idea of MAGE. I'm going to try and keep on top of any super chats, and I did see one earlier on, but I've got to refresh this page. I've worked out how I can see them because flipping Streamlabs doesn't do it properly. Yes, I shall read this out. General E. Shady super chatted $2 Australian saying, Jose is a spanner, in my opinion. Jose, I know you've got some questions. That's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that, okay? So, what I think I'll do, oh my, we got a whole bunch of people in the green room. Now, I was hoping and expecting, and hoping again, that there'd be quite a few people. So just so that anyone knows, it is open mic tonight. I do want to get a lot of people in, say a few words, ask a couple of questions, however you want to put it. And but there's no guarantee. I can't give a guarantee that I'll get everyone on. And when someone is on, I can't guarantee how long they'll be on for. What I might need to do is move people in and out the room, because I don't want it to become just a mishmash of voices talking over voices. And two more super chats I'll read out now, and then I'll bring a couple of people in. The Snark, €2. Thanks to everyone who has super chatted. Yes, Snark, thank you. And thanks to you. And John Rapp, $2 Australian. No flirfs, not presupposing a globe. Name aside. Sorry, I don't get that last bit, John, but that's right. I'm not presupposing a globe. If MAGE goes up there and photographs a flat plane, so be it. You can't go against evidence, can you? So, let's bring a couple people in. Excuse me. So, I shall bring in someone who's there right from the start tonight, and a regular. It is Farmer's Boy. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Hello, Farmers. Oh, I'm not in there. Hello, Farmers.
Well, hello, good evening, sir.
And how are you?
Do you know, I'm quite excited.
Good.
At MAGE, that's I think that's pretty damn cool. Launching a big old balloon.
Yes, and I think I'll quite happily reveal that Farmer's Boy was the only person that I'm aware of that guessed what MAGE is. He didn't guess the acronym, but he guessed what it was.
Yeah, that was even more annoying, that I knew I'd guessed right and I still couldn't quite work out what it was.
Well, what I'm also going to do is I can see none other than Mr. or Dr. Bob the Science Guy is there waiting, so I shall bring him in to join us, farmers. Hello, good evening, Bob. Are you there? Are you awake? What time of day is it for you, sir? Oh, he's run away again.
Oh,
I'll try him again in a minute.
Good start.
Yes. So it's been quite exciting, this. I've been like a cat on a hot tin roof for months. I actually first thought of this before Christmas and then thought, nah, you can't do that sort of thing. And then I started looking into it more, and I realised it's possible for an ordinary guy to do this.
Yes, and like you said, as long as you get the permission, the clearance to go launching, what I suppose is a fairly appreciable sized balloon up into the air.
Well, the balloon starts off fairly small. As I said in the video, about 1.5 meters diameter. It'll end up about 9.5 meters by the time it reaches maximum height. String and Use One's just super chatted $5 US, saying 1, barrel distortion, 2, CGI, 3, fisheye lens. You know their game. I certainly do String and Use One, which is why I'm trying to avoid that. I will talk about all of those, but I think I've got them beat. That's the whole point of MAGE. Let me just try and find out if Bob is ready. I'll ask.
Do it in a traditional way.
Well, I was quite happily just dragged him in here, but he ran away again.
yeah, I noticed that. I'm not because he was muted. I don't know whether that was why.
Yeah, he's not muted now. I've just dropped the message for Colon. I won't drag him straight away again. What I will do is I will bring in another person to join yourself.
Yeah.
And let's go for. Well, Crafty Keeler's been around a lot. Hello, Crafty.
Hello.
And so what do you think now MAGE is revealed?
I am very, very excited, and I'm actually delighted that you didn't tell me, because I know you were talking the other day and you were like, what if I did? I was like, no, don't tell me.
I wasn't going to.
Yeah. I know, but I am so excited. I cannot wait to see the dimensions, everything that you're going to be putting together. I can't wait to see it come together, and I can't wait to see whether it's successful or not. I think it will be. I do think it will be.
Well, I certainly hope so. Oh, I've just had a super chat. I've just had a super chat from Mrs. Sensible for £9.99. Oi, Mr. Sensible, how much is this going to cost? You're in big trouble. By the way, this money is coming out of your account. Oh, thanks, Mrs. S. Thank you so much.
So she's just paid for your super chat that's going to come out of your account, and then you're going to get some of that back eventually.
Yes. Yes.
And that's going to pay for the experiment.
Yeah. Well done, Mrs. S.
And she's actually paying for your experiment.
Yeah, cool. And Nell Pinion has just super chatted 59 Swedish krona saying, loved the announcement. Me and Little Miss Now were both impressed. I have a video to edit, and we'll listen to this in the background. I know what that video is, but I won't say anything now. Right, I've got a message from... Oh, right, we've got Bob ready, but he's on a mobile, so fingers crossed the signal's good. Okay, Let's bring him in. Hello, Dr. Bob. Are you ready to go?
Hello, Mr. Sensible. How are you, my friend?
I'm super fine, thank you. And how is northern Michigan?
Oh, it's just absolutely beautiful. Great day. I'm having a drive right now. Life is good.
Good.
Your announcement went over really well today.
Thank you. And thank you for giving a shout out for it. I really, really appreciate that.
Oh, that's not a problem. I'm probably going to do something on it in the next couple of days anyhow, too. Kind of a follow-up and, talk about some of the highlights I'm really looking forward to and things like that.
Excellent. And assuming a successful launch and flight, I will end up, I hope, with some good footage. And I will make footage available to, I guess, debunkers and flat earthers to enable them to argue the case.
That would be wonderful. We could sit down and have a look at that. Maybe maybe you could host something. A couple of us could come in with a couple of the flat earthers and talk about what happened.
That would be brilliant. Brilliant, yes. I will be doing, in fact, I've already done a video which is ready to go, which will be all about the design of MAGE, which will be, I think, probably next Thursday evening. Oh no, maybe next Friday evening, because I've got an interview with Conspiracy Catz about MAGE.
Excellent.
When is that happening?
I think it's the 6th of August. 6th of August, that's the Thursday, isn't it? Oh, things are falling off.
You know, one of the things that's really nice about the debunking community is kind of like Mensa. And, you know, one of the rules in Mensa is that you've got all of these resources that you can just freely call upon. And, you know, you may have an expert in urinary tract infections in frogs. You know, you can find the world's expert on that. And we can kind of do the same thing here in the debunking community, because between Catz and Wolfie and some of the other really high power folks out here, you've got some real experts that you can call on. Well, and we all like you.
And we all love you, Bob, too.
Speaking of frogs, Mr. Sensible sent me a very nice email today, or a message on Discord, calling me a toad for not telling him that was in the so I'm a Patreon of Mr. Sensible. I'm a Patreon of Simon Dan, and Simon Dan releases his Flat Earth Fridays on a Thursday for his Patreons. Now, I remember, not the last live stream, but the one before, saying that Dan was going to put it in the Friday video. And he was like, "You didn't tell me." I did tell you. Well, I wouldn't keep that a secret.
Well, what happened was this morning, there's a Simon Dan video pop up. I've got 15 minutes. I'll watch that. And I'm sat here watching it. And Mrs. S is sat there in the doorway in the sun, listening. Yada, 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 Dan's video. Very good. Let's trash Mitchell from Australia. Same video I trashed him on. And then right at the end, suddenly, whoa, Mr. Sensible's got this out tonight. I thought, wow, what?
Yeah.
And that was a brilliant shout out. He did it very well, very well. So I was very grateful.
He does a great job. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy, yeah. Very nice, very nice. So, yes, people mentioned about, what was it, CGI, barrel lens, and what was the other thing?
Fisheye lens.
Fisheye lens. Right, I am sending up a normal action cam that does have a wide angle lens to get a good view. So what we're going to get is all the flexing of the horizon up and down. That's not for science reasons, that's just because, hey, we can see more. But I'm also sending up a camera, as I said in the announcement, that does not have a fisheye wide angle lens. He's got bad signal again for a second. Yeah. So I'm also sending up a non-fisheye lens.
No, I had the window open. I'm very sorry.
That's all right. No worries.
One of the ways around the whole, it's CGI, and this is what Red's Rhetoric and Astronomy Live. They film their cameras too.
Yes.
So when you're putting the cameras in, when you're sending the cameras up, have a separate camera where you're filming to say, these are the cameras that are going up, and film it going up.
It is all going to be filmed.
That's the best thing. Yeah, that's the best thing to do.
Little Miss Sensible is filming it. And although for the actual results, I'll show a shortened version, with some highlights of the flight and the actual results at maximum altitude, I'm also going to be releasing, as I said in the announcement, 2 videos which are full length, non-stop of the entire flight from launch. So you'll see me let it go, going all the way up, landing, and hopefully you'll see me finding it again. I just want to read out 2 super chats. Monochromatic Light Source, £1.99, said, "Can I help by supplying the balloon gas?" Thank you very much, Monochromatic. That's very kind of you, but I think I'm sorted on that. Appreciate the offer, though. And there was another super chat, just skipped past, from Tatty Bogle for £5 towards the Sataloon Fund. Cheese and beer. Thank you very much, Tatty. Really appreciate it.
Of course, thinking of Tatty there, of course, since it's now out, I would like to invite you on the bar chat on the iNetwork. We have it every Thursday. So I know you're talking to Catz there on Thursday. I don't know what time. But we go live at 10 p.m. BST and at 1 a.m. BST. So,
well, probably not for the 1 a.m. I don't know about what time with Catz. That's not decided. But yeah, I'm up for that. And Jason Ryan's just super chatted €5 saying, what type of cheese will be sent? A hard cheese, I presume. Possibly, I'm very, very concerned about weight. Every gram counts. So it will probably be a cheese triangle. Probably.
Yes, that'd be quite
Cheese
right.
is cheese.
Cheese is
And
cheese.
it will be quite nice.
I hope so. After it's been down to -40, -50 and 1% atmospheric pressure, we'll see what comes out of it.
actually, the one cheese that doesn't lose, especially when it's in deep freeze like that, the one cheese that doesn't lose its structure and its content is cottage cheese.
Ugh.
Oh, yes.
Ugh.
I know.
That's because it's
I
got
know,
no structure in the first place.
You don't like cottage cheese?
No.
All the better to send it up to space.
Oh,
I
IMD
think
Fox.
that you ought to send up Swiss cheese so it explodes.
Oh, that would be interesting,
fun.
wouldn't it? Yeah.
That would be fun. We could film it exploding. Drop in pressure.
Well,
Technically
IMD
speaking,
Fox has
probably
just
your best bet is to grate it.
grated cheese. IMD Fox has just super chatted €5 saying MAGE, Crew Dragon, Long March, Ariane, Electron, Starlink, Perseverance rover, Falcon 9, Atlas, Boeing. What a time to be alive. Go for MAGE, Arnold 1. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll send up a few cat biscuits and a little bit of cheese, and that's just as a side experiment for fun to keep cheese and Arnold involved.
Here's my question, right? You said that there is going to be a competition, which I'm absolutely going to be a part of.
Good.
What is the competition going to be? Because if the reward is cat biscuits that's been up in space, you can
don't
keep
want
the
them.
cat biscuits.
And I'm eating the cheese. Right, well, Tusk has just super chatted £2 saying, if you're sending cheese, do it carefully. Ha ha!
Oh,
Yeah. Right, I will tell you guys.
cheese one.
I will tell everyone now what the prize is, okay? But what you need to do for the prize, I can't tell you at this point. This, right, let's make sure I see it. This logo, this logo that Osvaldo Greco has made is currently being turned into a patch. I will have one. Yes, I will have one. Anonymous Q will have one by way of thanks. Osvaldo Greco will have one by way of thanks, as will Mini Miss Sensible, who is helping on the day. That leaves one more. That patch is going up in MAGE. And that could be won by anyone. Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to put it out here. I'm just going to put it out here. If anyone else enters that competition, I'm after you.
They're all going to enter now, aren't they? Oh, chase me, Keela, chase me.
It's the only way. It's the only way to get people involved in something like that. I don't know. To give them a real enemy. Come on, you're up against me now. People know how committed I can be.
Huge ass.
So, Mr. Sensible, are you going for sponsorships on this?
Sponsorships? Oh, what by Kraft cheese or something? You mean? That would have been a thought.
Well, you could. That would definitely be a thought, and I think that one of the panels on your balloon could be a Bob the Science Guy panel.
Oh, are you offering sponsorship, are you, Bob?
I think I might.
Wow.
I think I may do that.
Right, well, I'll tell you what. DM me afterwards and we can talk about it. Thank you very much for that. And
$5 is $5.
Hey. I'll take what we can get.
Bloody right.
Hugh Jars has just super chatted $2 Australian, said send Venezuelan beaver cheese. And
we're going to do the Monty Python sketch, aren't we?
No, not tonight. And Tatty Bogle sent £2 saying it was Gouda Tusk to make that pun.
Sensible. Can you tell us about how much this whole thing cost you? Mr. Sensible, can you give us an idea about how much this project ran you, if you want to release that information?
Yes, I don't mind. I've been very, very fortunate. As I said, I came across a guy during my researches who we got chatting, and he offered his help. I would have been able to do this anyway, but I reckon it would have been much less than 50-50 chance of success. There's so much that's involved. You've got to calculate the weight, then you've got to calculate the balloon size for that weight, how much gas in that balloon to get to a certain height, then what size parachute to enable that weight to land at the proper speed, and the bigger the parachute, the more weight, so you have to adjust the gas, and possibly it goes on and on and on in a circle. Really nasty stuff. And anyway, he offered to help, and I have met up with him, and we've talked about all sorts of things, and he has loaned me all sorts of bits of equipment I was going to have to purchase. Now, one thing I was going to have to purchase was a cell phone tracker. There were two sorts, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I'll go for the more expensive one, which had sensors for things like air pressure and a whole bunch of other things, some of which I didn't want. That was going to cost me the thick end of £200. Now, yeah, because I was having to buy it. I'm not into it. I'm not a high altitude balloon hobbyist, so I don't have, I can't source things at the cheapest price and so on. Anyway, those have about a 50% chance of success, because they can only send their location within a certain height of the ground. Too high, or when you get higher, it loses the signal. It only picks up again when it comes to landing. And if you're landing in an area without signal, you've lost everything. So he's lent me, or is lending me, GPS trackers, all the equipment, and he's going to get involved with me on the day. The only thing is, he wishes to remain anonymous, which I totally respect. Sorry, I'm getting a bit sidetracked. So that saved me, just there, a couple £100 at least. I was working on a ballpark figure of around £600 for the experiment. I don't know exactly, but I'm feeling now perhaps I've got it down to around 300. So
that's good going.
Yeah, not bad.
Fantastic.
Well done.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It is great to have someone that kind of knows what they're doing as well. That's fantastic that you met up with him.
More than kind of knows. He's sent up about 80 odd balloons.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, he's got lots of...
So the chance of success is just skyrocketed.
You've used the exact word that I used in my design video. And Mark has just super chatted £5 saying, my hovercraft is full of eels. He's got the old Hungarian English translation dictionary, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
My nipples explode with delight. We're getting off onto Monty Python again. We can't do that tonight.
Have a look at the next super chat there, Mr. Series.
Is there another one? Monochromatic.
That's just comedy gold.
Bob,
sorry, Dr. Bob, we're not getting
Bob's Dalek-ing again. Well, while he gets...
Dr. Bob is turning into a robot.
That's better than Crashes used to do.
Right,
from your many supporters in the United States,
And he's gone.
United States, I will toss a little way your way. Am I here again?
No, Bob, I'm afraid you're Dalek-ing again.
All right, am I back yet?
Oh, you're back. You're back now.
Hey, you're back now.
I guess I'm not back
Oh, dear.
then, eh? Good. Can you hear me now?
I can right now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Say what you're going to say quickly.
All right, great. All right, from your many supporters in the United States, I'm going to toss a little weight your way. I think on the order of 50 pounds worth of weight.
50 pounds worth of weight?
Yeah. So you send me a little PayPal, and I'll send you 50 pounds.
Wow. Bob.
Hey.
All right.
So absolutely. Thank you very much.
Because I definitely would like to support this type of stuff. And if anybody wants to say thanks, watch a little time on Common Sense Science. I got 600 hours to go.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Someone please straight away drop links to Bob's channels in the...
I can't. I'm driving.
No, one of the mods, please. Bob.
Common Sense Science. All right,
Bob, that is
That's
very,
the one.
very kind of you. Please send me a graphic and we'll make sure it goes on the side of MAGE, okay?
I understand. Thank you very much.
Very, very welcome. And I've got a couple more super chats. Monochromatic Light Source super chatted £1.99 saying, if you add salt, it won't need the balloon.
Oh, that was epic. That was epic.
And Tusk says, for £2, charge £1 to have your name sent up into space. Hey, I'll tell you what I did years ago. I don't know if you remember this, Bob. With one of the probes they sent to Mars, this was going back, I think, in the late 80s, that you could contact NASA, give them your name and possibly address. It's a long time ago. And they'd stick all of these names on a CD-ROM and put it on the probe. So I did that. So my name got sent to Mars. Whether it actually landed successfully, I don't know.
Well,
that explains all of the probing.
All of the probing, yes.
They've done something similar to the one that they launched yesterday.
Did
Was
they?
it Perseverance, whatever they've called it? Yes,
Have you
yes,
watched it?
that's got plenty of people's names on it somehow. I can't remember how they did it, but there was a thing that you could get your name put on the mission. It's actually on the craft somewhere.
That's brilliant,
Probably
isn't it? And
probably on a
John
USB
Rapp,
stick or something.
John Rapp super chatted $2 Australian saying, any way to charge Flurfs to help recoup the costs? Nice one. And Chris T super chatted $5 US saying, Bob the Science Guy is a robot. Confirmed.
Indeed, I am. Beep, beep, Applejack.
Oh, and Zombie Wolf, €5 saying, good luck with the project. Thank you very much, Zombie Wolf. Listen, the support from this community is fantastic. Go on, Keelan.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, how much of a relief is it now that it's out there?
It is fabulous. I'll tell you what, the last 5 minutes before the stream went up, I'm not kidding, I got butterflies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I get that.
Exciting stuff, definitely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, we've got a couple more people I'm going to bring in. Going wrong, the wrong one. Where's my channel gone? There we go. Let's bring in the Snark. Good evening to you, Snark, and
good evening.
And Flint. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
I hope you guys enjoyed all this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
And as for the feeling you just had before the stream started, or the video went up, I had that feeling too because I was working on a secret project and it was like, I have something planned at the end of the whole event and I will not tell you what it is. And in the end, I had to let two people know because they were editing the end video and which my video was included. And it was just perfect announcement for the next theme of the next event. And it was great. And I was just like there, basically stepping on my feet. Damn it, German. Well, I just was very excited as it went off just perfectly. I was like, yes, job well done.
Well, when you've got something like that you've been waiting and working towards for so long, you reach that point and it's a bit nerve-wracking. And I'm going to feel that all over again when it comes to the actual project as well.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what we need?
What do we need?
We need somebody with too much time on their hands who can go through all the comments of the last videos to amass all the guesses at the acronym to create a small book, the Mr. Sensible MAGA book of MAGA guesses, something like that.
The MAGE book. I might have to do that.
MAGE book. Wow.
MAGE book.
With the names of the contributors.
Brainless Steel has just super chatted €20 saying for the project, after hearing a lot of people reference Life of Brian, I watched it a few days back, loved it. So cool you can do something you like with your daughter. Thumbs up. I hope I one day do stuff like that with my son. I hope you do too, Brainless. That's very, very kind of you.
I watched it with my children. That's a long time ago, but yeah, I can confirm it. That is wonderful.
So I'm with MAGE. As I said, I'm setting up these two cameras. So one has a wide angle, so you get distortion. The other has not. But I fully expect them still to claim that there's distortion. So I've thought of a way of eliminating that. They can look at the picture, and I will be able to prove that that picture they're looking at is not distorted. My simple idea that I had before Christmas is to put an object in the field of view. You can see that the object is not distorted, therefore the image is not distorted.
Yes.
So they're going to have to squirm over that one.
There's also an option. They have those calibration sheets, which they use to see where is the most distortion in a camera, and basically it's everywhere, and to a small extent or less. So you can see that is at which point it is actually distorting more and where it's less. And usually in the center and on the center lines, it's distorting the less. And you can say, yeah, well, look at this picture. That's the distortion graph, and then you can make your assumption about this then. So then you see how much distortion you have in the camera.
Well, mine is so simple. It's so simple that you'd be able to take a screen cap of any frame, take it into a graphics package, draw a line, and you'll confirm it's not distorted. As simple as that.
Yeah. You can do that there too, and with the graph, if you do that in the beginning to show that the camera isn't distorted, then you can go back to that reference frame and maybe even calculate out distortion out of this, but that's very difficult. I tried.
You will have to take into account the level of deceit of flat earthers, because you remember what they said about your eyes, right? Your eyes ball shaped, so you see straight lines. Yeah, so if you're looking in.
Sorry, you're starting to robot as well. Yeah.
Is he on the same network as Bob?
Are you in northern Michigan?
Probably not.
The Key Weasel has super chatted $5 New Zealand dollars, saying yes, get in, my son. And Tatty Bogles super chatted £2 saying calling the project MAGE was a wizard idea. You won't believe how long it took me to come up with that. Honestly.
And how did you come up with it? Like, how many names did you have?
Loads, absolutely loads. I went through all the words I could think of: globe, sphere, altitude, whatever. And then I basically, oh my goodness, I then basically brainstormed it. I've just had 2 super chats. The first from Anti Heavensalo for €5 saying, make Flirf's MAGE quit. Oh, I like that, MAGE quit. Good luck with the project. That's brilliant, Auntie. Thank you very, very much. And Monochromatic Light Source has super chatted £99.99, saying, now you only need another £500 to reach your target, Mr. Sensible.
Wow.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you.
Here's the thing about this project, and I think this is why a lot of people are excited about it, is because a lot of, like what Blue is doing with the Cavendish, a lot of the projects that we do is in response to flat earthers, or it's all the videos you see is in response at the moment to flat earthers. This is a kind of proactive, this is what I want to do. It's inventive, it's fun, it's inclusive, and that, I think that's why people have latched onto it. So I cannot wait to see how it develops.
Nor can I. I've had 2 other super chats. The Mite one, £2, saying not a life-size Galaxy class, because he thought I was going to build one, but awesome anyway. Thank you, Mike One. And Grey Cat Brew, I'm sorry, I don't know the currency. 269 NOK.
From Norway.
Yeah,
Norwegian kroner.
Norway.
For Arnold's Space Biscuits. Thank you very much, Grey Cat. I appreciate that. Now, listen, we've got another person sat waiting in the waiting room. He is now ready. And apparently he has a lot of experience, I'm told, with photography. So it'd be good to get some input from him. So let me bring in Mr. Miles Davis. Hello, sir. Hello, Miles.
Hello, yeah.
Hello, you're through. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, thank you.
Jolly good.
I'm actually on the live stream now.
Yes,
you are.
I'm a little bit unsure of how these things work.
Yes, you're on the live stream now.
Great stuff. It's a fabulous little project. I had one thought while you were talking about this object you've got to confirm camera distortion. I hope you've thought about whether the object might distort at low pressure.
No, it won't distort at low pressure. But that is a good thought. Well, I'll be doing the design or showing the design vid in about a week's time. But this is really no big secret. The big secret has been the whole project. What I'm going to be doing is as simple as this: stringing a line kept taut with a spring right across the field of view.
Completely unaffected by pressure, altitude, temperature,
Absolutely.
blah, 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 blah.
Absolutely. And
Very,
in fact,
very
anything that affects it, the spring will just take up the slack.
The spring will take. The spring will keep it taut at all times. won't it?
Absolutely. And because you've got that taut line,
Clever little sausage.
I know. And because you've got that taut line, if you took that screen cap image to prove it's not distorted, all you do is you take it into a graphics package, overlay a straight line on that straight line. If they match, there's no distortion.
They really are showing their generosity.
Aren't they just? B-Ball for life. It's just super chatted $2 US saying MAGE for the win. Thank you very much for that, B-Ball. And this scrolling's terrible. Monosyllabic girl has just super chatted £100 of the finest sterling, no less, saying, duh. Thank you for that monosyllabic. That's very, very kind and generous of it. Incredibly. It's incredibly kind and generous of everybody, my members, my patrons, and all the super chats I've received. It really is.
But be precise. This is duh.
Sorry, say again.
God.
This is duh.
Duh.
It has to be two.
Sorry, Mini Miss Sensible's just walked in.
Yay, Mini Miss Sensible.
Yay.
Thank you for being part of it.
Yeah.
Is it Miss Sensible or is it Mini Miss Sensible?
It's Mrs. Sensible and Middle Miss Sensible. I don't know if they want to come on camera and say hi. No. That's a no. Oh, but apparently we've got a Millie anyway, so we'll have to make do with a Millie. There we go.
Bring cheese.
I haven't brought cheese, but I've brought a dog. And a couple more super chats. Where are we? Stringer News 1, $5 US, saying Apple has done a hostile takeover of the MAGE project. It's now iMage. That's clever. And Brendan Lama super chatted $4.99 New Zealand, saying best of luck from the other side of the globe. Wow, who'd have thunk it, Brendan? Thank you very much for that. I shall get shot of the dog.
What, you mean it's not flat?
Apparently not. Well, we shouldn't assume if it's flat. We should wait and see.
Let's not pre-assume or whatever they like to call it.
No. What was it? Presupposition.
Yeah, presupposition, yes. Because one of them did keep calling it pre-assuming. And
Pre-assuming?
there's no such thing. Yes. No, pre-assuming, and there's no such word.
No.
I wonder if any flat earthers would put up a bet about whether it'll appear flat or curved.
That's an interesting idea for charity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
they don't like putting bets up, do they?
Well, no. They quite happily put bets. It's actually following through. They don't really like.
Yes.
Look at Riley with his. What was it?
It's £1,000 for
it was £1,000.
Yes.
Every month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he wiggled and squirmed and never did pay up, did he?
No, he didn't, and then come up with some bull argument.
Yes.
And Johnny Ragadu's
Yes.
just super chatted $25 US, saying, "Wish I could send more. Fair winds and safe harbour." Johnny, that's absolutely fabulous. I appreciate it. I really do, and thank you for the wishes for fair winds. I actually would rather have very little wind, but the safe harbour I'll go for. And this jumps. Brother Grief, £5, saying first time super chat for a really exciting experiment. Well, thank you very much, Brother Grief. That is appreciated too. And Hugh
was another thing that. Sorry,
I was saying, and Hugh Jars, $5 Australian, saying, "Tell us your PayPal so that more of the money goes to you rather than YouTube." Yes. Hugh, that is incredibly kind. I can't put my PayPal address in public. It's a personal one. It's not directly linked to Mr. Sensible, unfortunately. Well, there's one or two people who I would trust with it, but
here's the thing, because people start asking me for my PayPal. So what I did was I set up a business PayPal under Crafty Keela.
Yeah, but I've got well, I don't want to go into all my financial setups, but yeah, no. I do have some issues there.
Patreon is a nicer way, and you can cancel Patreon if you want. So,
well, why on earth would you want to cancel it?
I wouldn't. But if people want to just give a one-off or a one-time
that's
only,
true. That's true. Because Patreon do take a slice, but it's a much smaller slice.
It's only like 5%. Yeah. It's 5% instead of 30%.
And John Raps super chatted $2 Australian, saying, "Rub balloon vigorously, may stick to the dome." Well, that will be the end of my experiment if I can't get it back down again. And I was going to say something else to Bob, and he's just dropped out. Oh, Bob, listen, if you come back, you're welcome to come back. But if not, thank you very much for the shout out, and thank you for joining us tonight from Northern Michigan. Mm-hmm. Let's bring someone else in. So I was going to say, let's bring someone else in. Here's a new name, someone I don't know. Let's bring in Andy M. Hello, Andy M.
Hello.
Hello, good evening to you. Can I ask whereabouts in the world you are? You don't need to dox yourself at all.
I am in Colorado.
Colorado, wow. And are you someone who's been a subscriber or followed my videos before, or have you come from one of the shout-outs?
I actually heard about you through Fight the Flat Earth.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Craig's great, isn't he?
Yes.
TFE.
So do you have any thoughts or questions about MAGE?
So the question I have is how, even if... So I actually don't really understand the experiment very well. It sounds like you're going to send a balloon up and attach a cable to it or something? A string?
Basically, yes. It's a proper weather balloon. Okay, so they're made of latex. That'll be filled with either hydrogen or helium. Then you have about 10, 15 metre length of cord. Then a parachute. Then about another 10 metres of cord. Then you have your payload, which consists of whatever you want. In our case, cameras, cheese, and cat biscuits. So you start off with a balloon. It's about 1.5 metres diameter. It goes up. As it goes up, the air pressure goes down, so the balloon expands until it reaches the point it can stretch no further, and it bursts. And of course, the whole lot starts dropping, which forces open the parachute, and that will gradually slow it from 200 miles an hour down to about 10 miles an hour. And hopefully you can track it to its landing site, recover the instruments, job done. That's basically it.
Okay, so I actually did an experiment like this a couple years ago with my community college, where we, a bunch of different schools got together and we all made little demo sets and had a bunch of instruments and measured pressure, temperature, light, radiation, stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just so excited about it, because even if I don't get the full height, or perhaps let's say the camera fails or something like that, the whole project has been just such an exciting thing to do, and a wonderful thing to do with my daughter as well.
So what elevation do you plan hope to make it to?
Did I not say in the announcement video? I'm not sure.
You did.
I did. Yeah, we're going at the current plan, and things are subject to change, but the current plan is for 30 kilometres, 98,000 feet.
And will you have pressure reading equipment there to show the pressure gradient?
Sorry, say again.
Will you have pressure reading equipment?
Right.
So you can show the pressure gradient.
I have not got pressure sensors. That was I said about the more expensive sensor unit. I was looking to buy tracker and sensor, and that would have had that, which would have been very nice. And it had temperature as well, but then a whole load of other stuff I really didn't need. But there are other ways I can do stuff with regard and what's the word? Demonstrate the reduction in pressure. At that height, we're talking about 1% atmospheric.
Just really quickly, Chris Durham is now in the chat. Chris Durham, you were talking about earlier on, does music, and he has just hit 100 subscribers, so go over and show him a bit of love. He is absolutely brilliant.
Nice one. And it's Chris who did for me the music which I've used as the MAGE intro on this live stream, which I absolutely love. Thank you again, Chris. And there's a link to Chris in the description, so please hop over it sometime. He's got some great songs, some great anti-flirt songs in there as well. And David Oliver is just super chatted £5 saying, Mr. Sensible, are you taking the hydrogen out of water? Well, the decision at this point as to whether to use hydrogen or helium is not 100% decided, because there's advantages, disadvantages. Helium's more expensive, hydrogen will lift more, but hydrogen, of course, is a bit explodey. So not 100% sure.
Yes.
Brainery has super chatted 100 Swedish krona with one of those super stickers. Looks like a flying gourd. Follow the gourd.
Good.
Thank you for that, Brainery. And Stringer News 1, $5 US, saying, who will hold the tape measure? Yes. I think we should get Nathan Oakley. Well, I think we should get Nathan Oakley to hold the tape measure, but only let it go to about 100 metres long. Take him up there. Then he can tell us if you can have atmosphere near to a vacuum.
No, I think he should be holding the bottom of the tape measure for when it eventually lets go.
That's what I mean.
Oh, right. Because that's going to come back with a hell of a snap, isn't it?
It is. It is. I see someone's put...
Nathan will just divide by 1,000, so it'll actually only go up 30 metres instead of 30 kilometres.
Yeah.
Well, Larry X...
Super chat.
Larry XK super chatted $10 US, saying, just a tiny drop for your obviously expensive scientific endeavour. Godspeed. Thank you very much, Larry. That is very, very much appreciated. It really is.
Yeah, I was going to say we have a super chat by Assistant Beaker.
Yes. Me. Yeah. Love Beaker. Beaker was always my favourite Muppet. Thanks, Larry.
I like Animal.
Oh yeah, he's fun. Well, they're all funny, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, let's. So far, we've got one, two, including me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us in here, and we're still handling it without talking all over each other all the time. So let's try and bring in another. We've got. I'll tell you what, Flint. Choose a number between 1, 2, 3, and 4.
2, because it's the first prime number.
Sorry, what did you go for?
2, because 2. The first prime number.
Okay, and I was looking from the bottom, so that's Gary, Isle of Wight. Hello, Gary. Good evening to you.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello indeed.
Hello.
You sit in that room and you can be dragged out at any point.
I know. I was listening to the stream and all of a sudden you burst into my headphones. I'm really excited about this. It's an excellent idea.
Thank you. I'm just going to turn your volume up a bit, Kat. Oh no, I'm doing the wrong one.
It might be me. I might not be close enough to the mic.
That's all right. I should be able to put your volume up.
Okie doke.
That's a bit better.
What cameras are you going to be using?
Right now, for the wide-angle ones, the wide-angle one doesn't really matter because I'm not taking any readings or evidence from that. That's just for the view, and that's a cheapo Victor action camera. So that's nothing. Yeah, I think they're great, absolutely great.
Yeah.
But so the specs for that do not matter. But I see that Jose JG is in there saying, he's just said, looking forward to the info. Right now is nothing different from what we've seen until we know the camera specs, therefore we know the lens sensor type. Well, Jose JG, the camera that is important, the non-wide angle lens camera, is a GitUp GIT2P 90. Okay? So that's a GitUp GIT2P 90. So it's not got a wide angle lens. So and you can check out the specs of that with regard to sensor and so on.
So it's not a Nikon P1000, no?
No.
You need a lot of hydrogen to get one of them up there.
Well, hopefully, Jose, hopefully that answers your question. And if you have any issues with that, then by all means let me know. But that's the camera that we're going with right now. And it's got...
Not a Hasselblad 500 cm then?
No, there's a Hasselblad. There is one available for free, isn't there?
It's on the moon, though.
Well, yeah, as long as you can collect it, you can have it. Yeah.
Exactly.
There are several on the moon, I think.
I think there are, yeah.
Now, hold on, says Mr. Sensible. Are you thinking of stabilising the cameras in any way? Gyro thingamabob? No. If I start looking into that, we're talking more complexity, more that could go wrong, and of course more weight, and weight is the enemy, because you have to counter that with more gas, larger balloon, larger parachute, and so on. So no, I'm not going to worry about that. However, yes, if you've ever seen one of those balloon flights, they do tend to swing and spin around. So some shots won't be good because it's moving too fast, but at other points, especially when we get up higher and there's less atmosphere, it steadies, and we can take as many freeze frames as we want.
And we don't recommend anyone watching it who is afraid of heights.
No, hey, I'm scared of heights.
How far?
Can you imagine
How far are you?
Vertigo watching that video?
Yeah.
How far are you expecting it to travel? Because
now, that is quite interesting.
And where are you going to launch it? Because my concern is it lands in the ocean somewhere, and
that has happened to people before. Yeah. Well, just before I answer that, Monosyllabic Girl has just super chatted £100 again. Monosyllabic. That is wow. Thank you.
Yes.
Just saying round. Absolutely, that's what I'm expecting.
Ranty will be so jealous.
Yes.
I mean, I was always flabbergasted when some people are actually doing donations, and we had basically somebody paying like €30 for one singular orange for charity.
Yes.
And at this, and at this point, the whole stage group was mad at me because I had a whole box of oranges.
Mr. Sensible, will you be on the 24-hour live stream on Irish Demons channel? Because it would be a great way of getting it out as well.
I don't know. Let me know the details about that, because I don't even know what
I
day
will
that's
indeed.
on. Okay, thank you.
I think it's Sunday.
This Sunday? Oh, I possibly could do, because I'm still on leave. Possibly could do.
Yeah.
Now
but it's like 24 hours long.
Now, getting back to the Snarks question, how far will it travel? Well, if I was just doing an experiment on my own, what I was going to have to do is choose a location based on the prevailing winds, so it would have been pretty far west. You launch it, and then you just track it. And where it goes, it goes. Now, I have learnt an awful lot since I met Q. It is quite incredible. I mean, gobsmacking what these high-altitude balloon guys can do. There is software to calculate all the things like the amount of gas, the amount of weight, and so on, the amount of height you'll get from a given balloon with that weight, and so on. One of the other things is landing prediction. And it gets more and more accurate as you get closer and closer to the day based on weather reports. Now, I do have a location for the launch that is and will remain secret, I'm afraid. Okay, but we ran some figures based on the weather at the time we were we were doing some checks, and we put in the figures for the weight and the gas and so on, this launch location today, and it predicted where it would go, because at first you got the prevailing winds going to the east from the west. When you reach a certain height, the prevailing winds go the other way. And it calculates all this and then predicts where it will drop. Now, sometimes it can be predicting within 2 or 3 miles, which is astonishing.
That's amazing,
isn't it? Just,
yeah.
But better than that. So we picked a start location and saw where it said it would land. We picked a landing location, adjusted the amount of gas against the weight and so on, and then it recalculated and moved it back to within just a few miles of our start point. So we can influence the predicted landing point. And as I said, it predicts within just a few miles. I have seen a video where this guy actually caught the package as it landed, which is just out of this world, absolutely out of this world. So you can see the difference between me having to launch, pretty much pray that it will come down somewhere where there's a phone signal. We're talking about 50-50 chance of it working, and not having any idea pretty much where it will end up in the country, to some fabulous tracking gadgetry, and being able to pick a landing site within, a circular area of 4 or 5 miles. Predicted. It can still change, but predicted. So it's absolutely gobsmacking, and I'm just so thankful for all the help Q has been giving me. And I've got another super chat from David Oliver for £5 saying, what about if it lands in the North Sea or a French lake or in Crafty Keeler's garden? The goat would eat it. Or the slipstream takes it into the middle of the Sahara Desert. Well, David...
You're breaking up, Mr. Sensible.
That's probably just on Discord, I'm afraid. I do suffer that every time to time. It'll be all right in the stream. Yeah, that's the other thing with the gas and the weight and so on. If you get the amount of gas incorrect, it's enough to lift it and lift it very slowly. The problem could be that it will balance out at an altitude, remain at that altitude, and not get high enough to burst the balloon. And what you've got then is a floater. And basically it could go hundreds and hundreds of miles. And it's
I've heard of the term floater, but it's not in that context, and I will absolutely ensure. I will absolutely ensure that if it does land in my garden, I'll make sure that the goats don't eat it. I promise.
Cool. They can have the cheese. Well, half the cheese and half the cat biscuits. Is that a deal?
Oh, the cats will have the. I do have 2 cats and a dog, so they'll probably eat the biscuits. Won't be the best for them, but they'll probably eat it.
So what I've got coming out is, as I said, in about a week's time, because basically everything is running behind reality. In a week's time, you'll see the initial design and plans. And as I said, things are and already have changed. But it enables you to follow everything through and the thinking. Around a week or so, maybe a little longer after that, there'll be an update which will include some of the actual construction of MAGE, photographs and whatnot, which will be good. When it comes to the day, it's actually a launch window of about 4 or 5 days. I am not going to reveal the exact date of the launch, and it is subject to variation due to weather. But it will launch on one of these days, assuming everything is okay. Once it has launched and completed, either successful or otherwise, I will announce it, probably on my community tab, ASAP, so everyone knows he's launched and it's failed. But then you'll get a follow-up video, or hopefully launched and we successfully retrieved, in which case I will then be doing a video of the results. So, as I said,
what we need.
It will show the launch. It will show some highlights, any interesting bits on the way up and the way down, and it will show some footage at the maximum height. And hopefully from that, I will be able to evidence the Earth as either flat or a globe. And then a couple of days after that, will follow full-length footage using both the wide angle and the narrow angle lens. But since each of those will be about 2 3/4 hours long, and I need to add in the data, the captured data for the height positions, get that all generated and added to the video, it will take a number of hours. So that will be a few days later. And skipping back a bit, a couple of days before, or a few days before the launch, I will announce the competition, what people need to do if they want to win one of these very unique Osvaldo Greco MAGE patches. There is only one that will be available to the public. As I said, one for me, one for Mini Miss Sensible, one for Oz for doing the graphics, and one for Q, just by way of thanks for his aid, and one for a lucky winner. And if you want, it can be signed on the back.
I was just thinking, this will be the first launch. Well, it's not the first launch, but it'll be one of the only launches done by our community that Red's Rhetoric won't be filming. Sorry, Red.
That's true.
Good point. Very good point. Yeah.
Red's going to be very upset. Red's is going to be very upset that he won't be able to film that launch.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, Glober Mom super chatted $2 US saying, Mr. S, get Oakley to rant into it. Hot air rises. And but the problem is you counteract it with him. He's quite dense, and due to density disequilibrium, I think it'll probably never take off. Probably sink into the earth.
Yeah.
Blimey. But I really want that patch actually.
Oh, it's going to be pretty unique.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mine.
Well, I did ask Mini Miss Sensible if she really did want it, because I was thinking, because I could offer 2 prizes, and she said, no way, I'm having it, I want it, which I can understand, so we're stuck with the one. I also contacted the manufacturers because I'd made the initial decision on 5. And obviously there's setup fees, manufacturing fees, so much per badge and so on. And I had it all ordered. And I contacted them and said, look, can we just add another badge? Which actually, reduced the per badge cost. She said, well, they're already produced now. We can do all the setup again. Oh, my goodness. So it would have been, I think, about 50 or 60 quid just to make one more badge. So I had to give that a miss, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's about stitching. We had in military, we had made a 2 times custom badge, and basically it was about 10 francs per badge, if I remember correctly. So but then you need to know the numbers and say everybody's buying so many and then pays up front. And
well, I've seen a graphic of how the badge looks, and it looks very, very good, and I'm just waiting delivery. So when I get them, I will include showing them on one of the streams. But I'm just going to bring in someone who's been waiting for a very long time, very patiently, and it is Pie Parrot. Pip, hello. Pip.
Peppy.
Wakey.
I'm here, but
If we hadn't nailed you to the pitch, you'd be pushing up the daisies.
I was listening to the stream and I'm all out of sync. Here we are.
I know, there's a delay.
Pip had an excellent suggestion in the chat.
What's that?
Pip, do you want to tell them what your suggestion is?
Oh yeah, after it's all done. Get it up on Teespring and get some t-shirts. We'll buy them.
Oh, MAGE t-shirts. Wow, that's an idea.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. Am I the only one that's been calling it MAGE all day?
Yeah.
I pronounce it MAGE.
MAGE.
Sorry,
MAGE.
I'm a bit posh. Sorry.
Yeah, you're very posh.
I've been calling it MAGE all day, and then you said MAGE.
Is Mater playing the grand piano?
I thought it was MAGE.
Oh my goodness! No, just MAGE. And Hertz to Helix is just super chatted $5 US saying point mission may help the my process of understanding. if there was a diagram, exchange for membership and finite cheese, breed for wine, pairing during event.
Pardon?
Hertz, thank you very much for the super chat. It really is much appreciated. But I'm sorry, I'm not really following what it was you were saying. If you're asking, is there a diagram? There will be some diagrams using my stunning artwork in the design video out in about a week's time. Definitely. So, Pip, what did you think of MAGE then, or MAGE?
Oh, MAGE.
MAGE.
I thought excellent. Yeah, and I was just waiting for the trolls to come in and start.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we just had one in a minute ago.
So, sorry, say that again, Pip.
I said I was just waiting on the troll in to start trolling.
I don't think it has been any trolling, has
there?
there?
We had one.
Not yet, no.
A little minute ago. I can't find it now.
All right. Well, apparently, there is a flat earther. Oh, Flat Earth Mick. In the side chat. Listen, Flat Earth Mick, if you would like to come on, you won't get a bashing. It'll just be a polite chat. If you'd like to come on, look in the description. There's a Discord link. Jump in there with a microphone and headphones, and come into the Discord, into the live waiting room, and we'll get you onto the live chat so we can talk. Maybe you've got some questions. Maybe you've got some arguments about why this won't work. I don't know, but I'm open to talking about it. Okay, very welcome.
Can't say fairer than that.
Can't say fairer than that. Yeah.
No, you can't.
Well, what was it? That was the old thing. But my typewriter, the F's and the T's don't work. Well, you can't say fairer than that, then, can you? That's one of the two Ronnie's ones, I think, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness.
It sounds like a two Ronnie sketch, doesn't it?
Doesn't it just?
Yeah.
Colon. If Flat Earth Mick does pop in, can you DM me, or if I don't notice, can you just jump in and let me know? Because obviously I'm balancing lots of things right now. And David Oliver's just super chatted £5 saying apparently there are things called floaters that live in people's eyes. I get those. They're so tiny, microscopic. It's amazing what we find with a microscope. Yeah, I get floaters all the time.
Yeah, the dash annoyed me trying to read.
That's what I was talking about, not the other thing that other people got.
Yeah,
that's right, Sheila. We believe you.
That's what she said.
Yeah, thousands.
And I just threw it out there. You guys.
Oh, don't give us that old nonsense.
Brian Shannon was saying, I make parachutes as a hobby for drones. Do you have that covered? Now, I know you did say you have. I do have that
covered, yes, but thank you.
I just didn't want him to go unanswered.
No, thank you. It's hard to see everything, and I had missed that. No, I have got that covered. I had one parachute, but might have to resize and get a different parachute. But no, it's all sorted. Thank you very much, sir. These offers, they are genuinely appreciated. And I know that if I had put a shout out a while back and said, look, what I'm after is this, and this, I'm sure that for a lot of those things, I would have had kind offers. So that's very much appreciated. Because I've had to keep it all secret, this has all had to be done in the background. And just to be clear, why this is all secret, again, I think I said in the video, with the Civil Aviation Authority, you have to give 28 days notice to get the permission or the exemption from flight rules or however it is they term it. And what I didn't want to do is have someone else beat me to it. Now, if another Flat Earth debunker did it and debunked the Flat Earth, well, okay, great stuff, that is brilliant. But it was my idea and I wanted to do it, so I had to keep it secret. Because if someone decides tomorrow or today, hey, I want to do it, they're not going to be able to beat me to it. So that's why. I hope everyone understands that.
And that's fair enough. But I do hope that once you do it and once you get your results, that people will follow suit and try and replicate those results, because then, empirical evidence, I know they won't believe in empirical evidence, but it is worthwhile having people back your experiment up after you have done it.
Well, I did see a flat.
I wouldn't expect. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I did see a flat earther a lot earlier on in the side chat saying it doesn't matter, it'll all be a lie anyway.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you can't expect any flat earthers to actually go out there and do something.
No.
No.
So what I expect those flat earthers to do is to take my evidence at the end, then try to pick it to bits. They're very welcome to try, and that's fair enough. Don't call me a liar before you've even seen what I produce. As I said, it very well may just fail for lots of different reasons, or that the evidence is not good enough to show anything either way. That's quite possible, and I accept that. Okay? But what's fair is wait to see the evidence, then try and deal with it. And Ilya Moon has just very generously super chatted $50 US, saying excited for you. Thank you, Ilya, and I hope you can see how excited I have been, because I am, and I have been for weeks, and I've had to go, oh, I can't tell anyone, I can't tell them.
Yeah, I as I mentioned before, I got the same feeling. But by the way, I wanted to ask you anyway. You said you will be accepting cheese, so would you like some cheese from me? And you know that I have the good stuff.
Is it Norwegian blue?
Keelan, why don't you send some goat's cheese over? That'd be good. Then you've got an investment in it.
I would, but he doesn't like cottage cheese, so no.
Goat cheese? Is goat cheese the same as cottage cheese then?
Well, it can be made into cottage cheese.
It
can be made into any type of cheese, really, but we make a cottage cheese with garlic and salt.
Well, if I tell you what, I would love to try. I would love to try a little bit of goat cheese. I never have. I would try it for you, Keelan. I've got another very generous super chat from Second Best Bob for £50, saying, "I'm in, Mr. Sensible." Thank you, Second Best Bob. This has been incredible tonight. It really has. The amount of support, I'm just gobsmacked. I totally am gobsmacked.
Well, you've pretty much covered your costs now.
Yes.
And you may have a new patron.
Oh, have I?
Well, hey.
Wait, hey. Unfortunately, I won't know that right now because I no longer have the little action figures popping up, because that did start to get annoying. So I'll find that out when I get an email, and I can just check that. Someone's typing very loud.
Very noisy.
That would be me, I'm sorry.
Actually, my email's not loading. Listen, was that you then, Flint?
Yeah.
Right, I can't actually see it right now, but I'll say thank you very much for becoming a patron. Now, I know that one or maybe two patrons that joined in the last few days weren't mentioned on the patron reel during the announcement video, but they are scrolling across there. That is totally up to date. So all patrons as of today are on there, apart from you. But you'll be on the next one. Oh, let me just redo everything.
I can wait.
Cool.
You should be able to do it right now. Like, come on.
I can, but now I've not had any evidence that he actually is a patron. He could just be joshing.
Ooh, that is a good point.
Don't change your running system. Just don't. Just leave it.
You mean you can't CGI in on the fly?
I can do stuff on the fly. I'll show you how I can do stuff on the fly.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Just
everybody cover.
I'll tell you when I'm going to press the button, and a few seconds later you will see it stumble. The stream will stumble if I change it on the fly. Right.
This while it's quiet, someone was asking earlier on, is it live, so you don't have to edit it like the flat earther.
So is what live?
Is there any way you could film it, do it live?
Oh,
like
right. I will talk about that in a second. And here we go. Okay. Watch the stumble. It will come through in a few seconds' time. There, it just stumbled for me, so that should appear. So Flint, you better keep your eye on the patron scroller at the top, okay? But you might have to wait till it gets to the beginning. Right, filming on the fly. That is possible. it is possible to actually broadcast and then stream that live. However, you're talking equipment, the signal may not be that good. And as I said, I'm only going to be announcing this, that it's happened after it's happened for reasons I cannot and will not go into. But yeah, it's an interesting thought, isn't it? And it was thought about and rejected. Okay. Second best Bob. Another super chat, second best Bob, £5. It was pointed out to me that I missed a full stop. I'm in. Full stop, Mr. Sensible. That, second best Bob, that has to be the most expensive full stop of ever. Thank you very much.
But should it not have been a comma or a space?
Space comma.
Space comma.
I couldn't resist that one.
Right now,
actually, technically, doesn't the full stop go after the bracket?
It depends, doesn't it?
No.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't.
It depends on the sentence and whether there's quotes and all sorts.
Okay.
But I'm not going to argue. As far as I'm concerned, second best Bob, having paid £5, is absolutely right in every aspect of his grammar, and I will not have him second guessed. Thanks, Bob. Bob, not that Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Bob.
You know, I couldn't resist that one. And actually, while I'm thinking about Catz, really, really quickly, I do want to congratulate him on reaching 50,000 subscribers.
Did he? I didn't realise that. Wow.
No.
Yeah,
way to go,
he
Catz.
50,000. He reached 50,000 this week, and I'm very, very happy for him.
That's fabulous. Now, listen, what I'm going to do, guys, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus me, 9 of us in here, and so far we're still holding it together, and we have others waiting in the waiting room. So I'm going to bring a couple more in. Now, if it starts to overwhelm, what I'll have to do is, unfortunately, move a couple of you out again, okay? I'll just pick a couple of people who've already been...
Before you bring them in, I'm going to go because I have the silly shields to get ready for tonight. I have a few things to do before then. I will absolutely, again, I want to invite you, Mr. Sensible, onto the bar chat on Thursday to have a chat about the whole experiment.
Well, please
so
message me.
You about
I was going to say, please message me so I don't forget, and then we can talk about it and see if the timing works out.
Everyone, a great night, and I will talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye now, Keela. So let's
later, Keela.
So let's take the opportunity. Let's bring in a couple more. I'm going to pick Brainless Steel NL and Edwulf Sledgeferter. Good evening to you both.
Good evening.
How are you? Evening. How are you?
Very excited. Very excited for your project.
Thank you, Brainless. Actually, I'm just going to turn your volume up a bit. You're a bit quiet tonight. There we go. Was it anything like you guys thought it might be?
No,
not at all. It's like totally surprised on this one.
Nice. What did you think it might be then?
Well, I'm a little bit more sort of observational astronomy, so you thought
it might be something more along those lines.
Yeah. I was more thinking about something like that as well.
I was thinking something along what Miles used to do with his mountaintop photography. That was kind of what the impression I had. But this, excuse me, has come completely out of the blue.
Oh, sorry. So, who was that saying about out of the blue?
That was me. Gary.
Yeah, this is starting to get to be a bit of a struggle. I think I might have to... We'll give it a go for a couple of minutes, but otherwise I might have to move one or two of you out, okay? Out of the blue.
I'm quite happy to leave. I'm not too worried, so you can drop me out if you like.
Well, you were just saying it hit you out of the blue. Well, I'm glad. I mean, that's the idea. First of all, I had to keep it sensible, keep it sensible, and keep it secret for the reasons I gave. But also, I love a good surprise.
Steady.
Sim has an opinion.
Sorry, say again.
Sim in the side chat.
Sim, I didn't see that. Well, watch the video. But what a letdown. Thought it was going to be a fait accompli. The flat earthers would never accept the findings. Very disappointing. Well, Sim, wait and see. When the evidence is in, they might turn around and say, well, that was a waste of time. But if I can show evidence, if I can show a photograph that shows a definite curve And at the same time, there is a definite straight line of my frame of reference, which proves that the image is not distorted. I'd say that's a win. But I appreciate your thoughts on it, and I'm sorry if it wasn't what you were hoping for. Believe me, I was nervous, thinking, what if I say this and everyone says, "Oh, how disappointing." It's possible.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But even if that was the case, as I said, it's just a way cool project. It's something I never dreamt of doing. I had no idea that Joe Public could do it, and I don't know anyone else, or didn't know anyone else before I met Q, who has done it personally. So it's a win-win. But I do appreciate the thoughts, Sim. Okay.
How did you get the idea for this, Mr. Sensible? Was it like a what's the word, a serendipitous moment, or?
Well, what had happened? So actually, I will talk about that. But Second Best Bob's for £5 says, "Can you invite a flat earther to put their camera in the payload? Then they can't call fake."
Idea.
That is actually a very good idea, Second Best. A couple of issues. One is, the big one is weight. I already have quite a bit of equipment going up, which you'll see when we start talking design. And with a camera, even fully charged, that battery will not last, because we're talking about a 2.5-hour flight. But going down, someone's got some strange noises coming through.
Yeah.
Sorry, my cat.
That makes a change.
Yeah. So the camera battery, sort of 2.5 hours, going down to -40, -50 degrees. A lithium battery will not last that long. So you also have to add a battery pack. So that's more weight still. So it starts to get very, very difficult. But it's actually a very good thought. And unless they've got a camera that... unless you've got a camera that does not have a wide-angle lens, then you've got back to the usual thing with the bendy, flexing horizon. And Boggs has super chatted £2, saying, "Hello, Mr. S. Peanuts, Pipsqueaks, John Rapp, Pip." Thank you very much for that, Boggs. I appreciate that. Right, so what was the question again? It was about...
How did you come up with the idea?
Oh, yes. What had happened, it was, I think, about October, November. I was just browsing through YouTube like you do, and then you look at one thing and then you see a recommendation for something else, which is what YouTube's very good at. And I was looking at various things, and I think I ended up looking at the... I can't remember now, but I ended up looking at something which then led on to a high altitude balloon flight. We've seen them before when people show images saying this is the curve of the Earth. No, it isn't, because of distortion. The usual argument. So I was watching one of these, and then I found others that were sort of showing the full flight. And although I didn't watch the full flight, I watched a fair bit of them. I thought, this is really interesting. And then I thought, why are they using these cameras that distort? So I started looking into stuff about cameras, and of course it's because they want the wide angle. And then I thought, well, okay, but why not just do it with one that doesn't distort? And that was where it started. So at that time, it was just a question. I didn't even think about doing it myself. And it was some time later I looked at those things again because I found them so fascinating. And then I thought, hey, can I do one? That was a school that did that one, so why shouldn't I? So I started to find out about it, and then it was shortly before Christmas when I found out that I could do it, that Joe Public can do it. And then, of course, Christmas got in the way. Then we got to the corona, and I thought, well, let's forget it. And I think I'd mentioned on a stream or two that I'd had an idea for a project, but I don't think it's likely to come off, or if so, it'll be months and months and months and months away. But then as the coronavirus thing started to ease up a little, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to go for this. And so that's when I started researching in earnest. And that's when I ended up getting into some nice conversations, and then eventually meeting Q. And there we go. So that's basically
Have you seen that's awesome.
Efforts. So he's a flat earther who actually did this, and he tried to put a non-distorting camera up.
So who was this, Miles?
Skiba.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yes. And he was a bit cagey with the footage that he actually published in the end. Splice Arcane and myself, we both made videos about it, showing that he'd actually shown that the horizon was curved. There was a distinct curve, and the curve got greater the higher the balloon went and the camera went. But then all the excuses kind of started to come out. Although it supposedly doesn't have any barrel distortion, there is still distortion, and blah blah, and the results are unequivocal.
That is just so dishonest. I mean, you know, and I know, and all of us here know that the Earth is a globe. However, if I send that up and the best image I can get shows flat, then I would have to say I have not evidenced a globe, and right now the evidence that I've produced is pointing towards a flat Earth. So we'd look into it further. But if I'm not willing to say that, what's the point?
Yeah, no, exactly right.
But of course,
when I went up to Prain Law, I actually deliberately went there saying, okay, well, it could be flat, it could be a globe. Let's see what I see, and which one does that evidence support? And that's the way you have to approach any experiment.
Yeah.
Of course, every camera lens suffers from a certain degree of distortion.
Yes.
Unless you pay an arm and a leg for them. But of course, you can get around it by using a smaller aperture, 5.6 or f8, something like that. That will help cancel it out. But
sorry, Miles, we're getting some strange scraping noises from your mic chat.
Might be, yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you just mute yourself if you're doing
something
else, that'd be great.
Backing on the computer, it just fell out of my ear.
Okay.
It's sensible. It's kind of stupid that I did not figure out what you were planning, because I have had the idea, like, why don't we do that? Like with the community, but I actually didn't think it was probably a lot of work and you need the money for it. So, yeah.
Well, only today, I came across a comment, and I'm not sure on whose channel it was. It was just buried somewhere. Someone was arguing with a flat earther, I think, and they actually said, well, why don't you do a GoFundMe and send up a high altitude balloon? I didn't say anything. A monochromatic light source has just super chatted £4.99 saying, can we send up an egg and some salt, common or garden, from the supermarket to see if it would stay up, since gravity doesn't exist? Absolutely.
You see, the thing with gravity is it doesn't care whether you believe in it or not.
Absolutely.
That's the thing with most of physics. It doesn't care if you believe in it or not. It's still going to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Science.
you can't step on a tall building and say, I'm fine because I don't believe in gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as Thunderfoot has often said on his videos or his old ones I used to watch, science, bitches, it works.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Peter Quinn, thank you very much. Good night. I'm glad you were able to join us tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That was so great when Richard Dawkins had to say that. No, we want you to say it. And then Richard Dawkins says, science, bitches.
Yes.
Well, that's it. It works, doesn't it? Look, we got two more people sat in the waiting room, both of whom have been waiting a long time. I'm going to try and get them squished in as well. And I think, I'm not even sure where we are time-wise. Oh, 11 o'clock. Well, I'm good to go. Let's bring in two more. So, Demon Orb, hello, good evening to you. I'm my deepest apologies that you've had to wait so long. And dog, woof, hello.
Dog.
Is dog there? Is Demon Orb there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, just heard you, Demon Orb. And I think we heard... Yes, you're in it. I do apologise. You've waited so long. Very patiently, sir. And dog. I'll just call you Dog. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, just one dog is fine.
One dog is fine. And you're both coming through very clear. So, guys, what did you think of MAGE?
Yeah, brilliant. Great idea.
Thank you. And again, was it something you'd have expected, or what did you have in mind, if anything, that it might be?
I was still guessing, to be honest, but came out to be a sensible option, really. Hence with the name.
Well,
I think it's a great idea, but if that thing lands in my rose garden,
oh dear. Well,
I promise you with the balloon. Oh no, a rose garden. Sorry.
Well, I don't know right now where you are, Dog. So I have no idea. If it does land in your garden, I'll give you a bottle of champagne. In fact, I'm going to have to take a bottle of champagne with me to give to any landowner, because obviously we don't know where it's going to land. If it's in someone's garden or something, then they get a bottle of champagne. It's like they do with ordinary balloon flights. It's a nice gesture, I think. Apologies.
If it lands in Brittany, I'll catch it.
Boggs has just super chatted £2 saying, "Stop starting or start stopping, Pip." Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Private joke.
Okay. All right. Just between you and, well, right now, 165 other viewers. And hasn't it been astonishing?
I hope there's no chance it'll land in M.A.G.E. land.
Yes.
Yes.
Could
be a bit dodgy.
We will.
Martin H has just put a interesting comment. He said it's. I don't think it would hurt to invite Fleurs to witness. They'll probably refuse, but at least it'll spike their guns when it comes up to arguing.
Yeah.
Maybe ranty. So that might be an idea. Put some invites out. Come along. Come and join me.
Yeah. The problem is, and I do appreciate that, we will be filming it all, but for reasons I can't go into, I cannot declare the launch site, and I cannot declare the launch to anyone before it happens. And I apologise, but I can't even explain why. But you just have to trust me that there are good reasons behind that. But they will see film. They will see film. I will show film, or which Mini Miss Sensible will film me with the thing, and with the probe. And from the probe, you'll be able to see her filming, so we can have both that film at the same time, and then it's launched. And then we just go to that footage, and when it comes down again, let's say it's dangling in a tree, we will then, hopefully, if I get there while the camera's still going, see me approach it. And that will be an uninterrupted shot, the whole lot. So it will prove that it's been up there and come down again. They can still argue the toss over the actual evidence. Bjorn Kamitz has just super chatted 500 Swedish kroner saying, "I really like this project, and the more I hear you talk about it, the more I think you will actually bring some evidence to the table. I wish you low winds and clear skies." Thank you very much, Bjorn. That's very, very kind of you. I appreciate the thought. Oh, I'm getting a bit chilly in here. I know it's been hot today, but I've been sat in here at 21 degrees all day with my aircon. Sorry. It's been nice.
Git.
Bring back up camera.
Oh, well, it says 23 on my thing over there. But that's sat in the corner, so it's actually a little cooler than that. That corner's always warm.
If you can, Mr.
The
Sensible.
forecast here was 31, and like an idiot, I went out on a bicycle to make a film, and my camera partway through actually went, you know what? No, it's too hot. I'm shutting down.
Definitely. And you get the same problem if it gets too cold. And as I said, this flight, the journey up could be around 2 hours or 2 and a bit hours to get up to full height, and then about 30 to 45 minutes coming down. So it's quite a long flight. My camera, I ran a test, it will almost, but won't quite make that long. But in that cold, it definitely won't last that long. So that's why we've got to use these extra. We're actually using, excuse me, that's another advantage of Q. I was looking to have to buy battery packs and then populate them with lithium-ion batteries. But the battery pack things were going to cost me £20 a pop. But thanks to Q, I can now use very specialised, thin, flat. They look like slightly chunky credit cards, a bit bigger than that, but LiPo battery packs. So good to go. Honestly,
and they're not too heavy either, are they?
No,
so you should
no.
be okay with that.
Yeah,
And
I
they
will show those battery packs in the design video, which, as I said, comes out in about a week.
They've got a good capacity and they can deliver the current, so you should be fine with those.
Yeah, I've forgotten the milliamp hours, but I mentioned that it is quite a lot. It's quite a lot.
Yeah. Do you have any data on how they perform at low temperature?
I don't have any specific data. What I know is, and this is better than data, I know they work because they've been used. So
that's good enough, then, isn't it? So.
Exactly. So as long as it lasts the flight, that'd be fantastic. And like I said, I hope that we'll reach the package very shortly after it lands, so that we can actually see me approach it.
I've had another thought about this. I know we're not designing things.
No, go ahead.
But, do you know what length of sort of horizon you should be able to see from the non-distorting camera lens? Can you make a prediction for how much curve there should actually be?
Well, it won't be a lot. It won't be a lot.
No,
I did look
that's
at
what
it.
I'm thinking.
I've got a feeling off the top of my head, so I could very well be wrong, but I've got a feeling we might be talking about 3 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's not a lot.
Yeah. So I think it's worth having that prediction before it goes up, because the other side will say is, oh look, it's just about flat, and the camera distortion could account for it.
Could be within that,
whatever.
yeah, within the error bars.
Atmospheric distortion could account for it.
Yeah.
Whatever they'll
that is a very.
But if you predict it before you start and then see whether it matches,
yeah, well, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. When I make and show the last of the videos pre-launch, I will tell I will be able to give you the final decisions on everything, because as I said, changes have been made and some further changes may still be made, but I will be able to give final predictions, and from that we will know the height, the estimated height that we're going to go to, and from that we should be able to say the amount of curve we would be looking for. Of course, if it ends up not going so high, we'll see less curve. If it ends up going higher, we may see more. But at least we be able to give a rough idea based on the target height.
I've done the calculations for that for a different observation. It's kind of a mess, but it can be done.
Right. Sorry, I've just had a message from Global Mommy. Wants to show my announcement video on the shills. Yes, go ahead. I don't mind that. That's absolutely fine. And I've just replied to that. Sorry, guys, I got a bit distracted. I didn't recognise the avatar. I thought, who's that? Global Mommy. Oh, have I missed a super chat there? I think I might have done. Just while I was looking. Oh, what have I done?
John Rat.
Oh, you've pinned something.
Yes, accidentally. Right, John Rat. To minimise $2 Australian, to minimise wind, watch diet, and avoid chemtrail. Hey, I tell you what, I had a cracking curry last night. I could have filled that balloon, I tell you.
Oh,
TMI.
Yeah, really?
No. SO2 is way too heavy.
Okay, let's change the subject.
Yes, let's.
Bjorn Kamet says maybe even make a video showing what's to be expected. That'd be good. I'm no good at artistic representations, as you may have guessed from my images in the things. I had good fun with that. I bought myself a cheapo graphics tablet, also funded by patrons and so on as part of MAGE, because I wanted to do little drawings. and I thought it was fun just doing them as those outline drawings. That was part, as far as I was concerned, the fun and the charm of it. But as for proper diagrams, that may be a bit harder. But I will bear that in mind. And David Oliver super chatted £5 again, saying it would be kind of funny if the payload landed in a volcano. Then you could prove 3 things at once: round, gravity, and volcanoes. Hey, maybe it will land on Sleeping Warrior's head.
That would be perfect. And just saying, I have actually found making silly mathematical diagrams, as in with colorful lines, etc. If you need anything of those, then just give me a ping. I do that.
Well, I tell you what, Flint. Because I don't want to lose track of where we are. I've got to watch. Please DM me, and we'll discuss that. Okay. If you can send me a DM, not this minute, but at some point, sometime over the next few days, perhaps, then I'll talk to you about it. Gary, we got you typing all over the stream, mate.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to do it very. I'll mute yourself. Hang on a sec.
I would. You've got a very loud keyboard.
Yeah, I always used to have that problem. I mean, mine. I still have to try and type as quietly as possible, but mine, when I used to just use the microphone built into my webcam, was dreadful, absolutely dreadful.
Pick up everything, don't I?
Yeah, it's just. I think it's just at that frequency that the mics love. Now we've got a couple more people in the live waiting room. This is turning into one hell of a stream, isn't it? Yeah. So let's give it a go. It's 2 names I don't. Well, actually, I recognise them from the side chat, but I've never spoken to before. So let's give this a try. It's getting full in here. So let's bring in Ion. Hello, good evening to you.
Hi.
Hello. And Leo, 1956. Hello to you, Leo.
Hello, Mr. Sensible.
Greetings to both of you. You're live.
Oh, Mr. Sensible, you were able to give my wife a real thrill yesterday.
Wow, thank you.
Yes. During one of your videos, you mentioned my name, and she just couldn't stop laughing. She just loves that I'm a fan of
Oh,
yours.
was that as a Patron name or something?
Yes.
Okay, so I won't mention it now so that it doesn't connect you with the name I've just given out, unless you want
Thank you. No.
Keep it as that. Yes. Well, let me say then, I was delighted to thrill your wife. How often do you get to say that on a live stream?
Never. That was the first. You've got the crown.
Thank you.
So I'm delighted to see that you undertaken this project.
Thank you.
But on the other side, I'm also amazed at how many different ways a flat earther can misinterpret something. So, like, I'm wondering, have you already been devil's advocate for this project and have an entire list of things you're going to have to answer already?
Well, the project itself is aimed to answer those things because we've seen photos from high altitude balloons before, and they always use wide angle lens, and even when it looks as though this is just a gentle curve and they claim there's no distortion, you can't prove it. So my 2 things were to not use a wide angle lens and to have the reference frame to show that there's no distortion. And it's so simple, that that's the beauty in it as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, I wonder, are they going to accept anything that's not, you don't use the holy talisman,
well,
up there, you got to have the P900 or P1000 or else it doesn't exist.
Yeah, well, they do think those are wonderful cameras. They might be wonderful at certain things, but then they're not God's gift.
Not in balloons.
No.
Yes.
Excuse me. And I'm sure that one of those is rather heavy as well.
Yeah, they've got good lenses.
Yes.
That's about all you can say of them, really.
Yes.
And they've got rather noisy zooms, haven't they?
Yes. Yeah. But I don't suppose for the money, they're not a bad camera for the money, but
what makes me laugh is when they use them as astronomical devices.
Yeah.
Out of focus.
The sort of money that you pay for a P900 or P1000, you could get a second-hand 5D Mark II or 3 for that kind of money.
Yeah.
Which is a far, far better camera.
Yeah, but it's not got 1,000. 1,000 is brilliant. That's better than 900. It's got to be. It's a bigger number.
Well, I was given a Nikon P5700 the other day. How about that? 5,700.
Oh, that must be good.
Yeah, but when you
It's
zoom,
20 years old.
I was going to say, when you zoom out, you tilt forward with the weight.
Yeah.
I had to buy a new tripod for my.
It needs 3 tripods. No, it's a tiny little thing, but it's actually very, very good. It takes wonderful, sharp pictures. It's very good. It came with a whole case of attachments and accessories, so I was given it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say better than free, can you?
No. Well, no, and I've got Canon DSLR and a Pentax DSLR and various other digital cameras and 2 or 3 35mm cameras and a bag full of lenses to go with it all. So to have this, it's a lovely little camera. It's light as a feather and it takes wonderful pictures. So it goes around with me when I go out walkies. I take it with me.
Nice one. Yeah, so I mean that was the basic idea. Because I could keep it simple, I just have a non-wide-angle lens. And it was just one of those thoughts that came to me. Why not just string a tight string across the field of view? You can show there's no distortion. Now, when I have disclosed this project to a number of creators who I know and trust. Asking for shout outs because I wanted a lot of people to come in and to get excited, I hope, about this project. So I had to tell these creators what this was about. And in fact, what I also did was I showed them the announcement video. So people like Simon Dan, MC Toon, Fight the Flat Earth, Creaky Blinder, Conspiracy Catz, Bob the Science Guy have seen this video for about a week. And I was talking with Bob. And he came up with lots of brilliant ideas of things you could do. He also mentioned about tests for air pressure. He also mentioned about if you had something to stabilize the camera, you could measure the horizon, never mind about the curve, but measure the horizon drop. All of these things are excellent. They get very complicated, but they're excellent. Problem is, as I said, well, several problems. One, my level of ability. I can do a tight string. 2 is what equipment is needed, and 3, the enemy of high altitude ballooning, weight. So, you know, I stuck with what I'm doing based on KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A good program.
Definitely.
And it still may all go wrong.
Turns out. It might be that somebody else or even yourself will have another go after this one.
Yeah,
there certainly seems to be people prepared to chuck you a couple of quid to help out. And
a couple of quid. You've seen the super chats I got tonight. They've been incredible.
I have a penchant for understatement. But yeah, I think other people might decide, that they can do slightly different things. I think the air pressure thing would be well worth trying to do. And I did ask in the chat earlier whether there was any way that you could have a something that would just show the balloon expanding as it went up, because that's an indication of the change in air pressure.
Miles, let me say something to you. This has been thought of.
Yeah, that was the response I got from Q, so fine.
Yes. Yeah, as I said, we're looking at this with a delay, if you like. So this announcement is the initial announcement. The design video, which comes out in about a week, was actually filmed several weeks ago. Okay, and things have moved on. But I mean, I could just do one video showing exactly the final plan. But no, I want to document the whole journey, if you like. Yeah, document the whole journey.
You got to hype it up.
I got to hype it up. Yeah. No, document the whole journey.
Yeah. Mr. Sensible, you got any idea how far you will be able to look?
I can't remember now. I think we're talking several hundred
kilometers.
Sorry, say again.
I just worked out 615 kilometer radius of the horizon. That's a radius of a flat circle inside the Earth, not a distance from you to horizon, but it'll be fairly similar.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I believe it's several hundred miles. Second best Bob's just super chatty £5 saying, I've sent you loads of money. You have. Now I'm going to bed. Can't wait to see how this all turns out. Love you, Mr. S. Well, second best Bob, love you too. Thank you very, very much for your generosity. It is really, really appreciated. You have a good night, sir. And
New York City signing off. Gotta go.
What, is that second best Bob? Oh, is that you, Leo?
Yes, it's me. It's me. Yes, I got to sign off now. So
okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me. Joining us. You take care now. Okay.
All right. Next time.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Cheerio.
And there's another super chat from Monochromatic Light Source for £9.99 saying, when you hit the dome, can you use reaction wheels to keep the cameras level and directly pointing at the sun to see if it's below the camera or above? Oh, and you'll need a spirit level for proof.
Oh, dear.
Oh, who was it that put the spirit level on the plane? I've forgotten now.
That's D Marble.
D Marble,
Yeah.
yes.
I think a couple of them have done that.
Yeah.
What a maroon.
Cool.
No marbles.
Yes.
Yeah.
My spirit
It's
level
flat.
is level before I took off, and it's level when I land, so the Earth is flat. Yeah.
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 But that's going back to the whole thing about aircraft having to dip their noses and all that ridiculousness.
Drive and Survive. Going
Oh, they'll
take
fly
the
off
level
into
and
space.
post it to someone else.
Sorry, someone talked over you, Pip. Say again.
Correct. I said I was sure I watched something the other day. It was Mr. Strive and Survive. He's get this fancy level, get it all calibrated, and send it to someone else. Get this.
Oh yes, we watched that the other day, didn't we? Yes, he's going to set up a level to record his local level. Then he's going to send it to somebody else quite a few hundred miles away.
Oh.
And when you turn it back on, he's saying that his friend should notice a difference of 25 to 30 degrees because that's how far he is around the Earth. What he's forgetting is that it's just going to be the same as his mate's local level. Well, he thinks because if you set the level to where you are and then move round the Earth by, say, 20 degrees, when you get there, it will be 20 degrees out.
It was sure 20 degrees slant. Oh my god!
If the level is using a gyroscope, then it would.
But I'm surprised
but
he just thinks that, and not that if it's a globe Earth, it should show a vast reduction in altitude because you've dropped. Well, I suppose unless he's sending it to a friend in the north, in which case the altitude will increase.
Because why his name's Mr. Lion Connive.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you're listening, Rich, I'm still waiting for your response video to my Umbra Penumbra video. You said that you would respond, and you haven't yet. You did mention it in a live stream, but the link was all screwy, so I couldn't view it. But I'm waiting for a response video. I gave you an experiment without a single item of mocking yourself. I treated it dead straight, no rudeness, and did an experiment that showed a penumbra. You then turned around and said, "Haha, yes, there's a penumbra. You fell into my trap." We're waiting to see what that trap is, Rich. Come on, be fair. Yeah. I will actually say, do you remember that someone recently did a video which then Rich mirrored and commented on and said he was sort of part of, showing a radar dish in a ball, saying it didn't match the moon, the shadows and that. The guy who did that video subsequently, after he was told, well, you're looking at it from a different angle, went up to it and walked around holding a foam ball on a stick, and then decided actually the shadow does match. He had the honesty to do that. Yes. Rich, I'm afraid, did not. He had said, yes, we're going to do lots of these experiments. He has not pulled out of it. He has not said, actually, we were wrong. That's dishonest. I don't like saying that, Rich. I really don't. But that's dishonest.
Mr.
Who was the guy that did this?
That mail address, was that mail address that should not have been com.org?
Sorry?
What?
There was some misunderstanding about a mail address, which should have ended in .org, not .com.
For what?
A mail address that might have been Mr. Strive and Survive.
With regard to what, though?
I actually think so. And then the mail address didn't work. And it's always a problem. As a debunker, you're so easily blocked on these flurfer channels. And on the flurfer channel, there was a response like, okay, you've ended in .org. So if you type in that mail address .com, it doesn't work, and it has to be .org.
I don't know anything about that at all. I don't. Going back to MAGE, Timo, with a surname which I just cannot pronounce, I'm afraid, says, do you plan to have anything else on the balloon than the camera, a thermometer or barometer, for example? Well, thermometer is something that's commonly on there, but I'm not planning to have that on there. Barometer, no. However, as has been alluded to earlier on, the balloon will expand. In fact, that's how it works. The balloon expands due to the lower pressure until it basically bursts because the latex is stretched. So that is an indication of reduction in pressure. Other things that are going on there, as you know, some cheese, small bit of cheese, some cat biscuits for Arnold so he can take part, and one of these, I can't think which side. Yeah, one of these patches will be going up for a prize for people to win. That's pretty much what is planned to be on there, unless things change. But that is pretty much it.
Mr. Sensible, there was also a nice comment in the chat. Bad sex. If you can put draw a black swan on the probe. I really love that comment. Just to piss off the flirts.
That would be
paint
funny.
A black swan on the balloon. Yeah.
I shall bear that in mind. Although, excuse me, guys. What I must not forget is Bob the Science Guy's kind offer sponsorship. I'm supposed to contact him because he's given me some sponsorship money in return for his channel logo to go on the side. Now, this logo up here is going on one side of it, of course, but I need to make sure that I get Bob the Science Guy's logo on there as well. As for Black Swan,
leaves another.
Sorry,
that leaves one other panel at least.
Not really. We've already got two panels that have got cameras in them.
Well, it's a cube, so you got more than two panels.
Let me put it this way: is it? I'll leave it at that. You'll have to watch the design video in about a week's time.
Okay.
Cool. Yep. But yeah, a little black swan on there somewhere. I suppose if I can manage to draw on a little black swan, quite small somewhere, that'll be worth a giggle. And I think I just missed a super chat. Yes, David Oliver, £5. Man, it's still very hot. Are you hot, Mr. Sensible? Well, Mrs. Sensible thinks so. Aside from that, it's currently 24 degrees in here and I'm comfortable.
Well, 24 is pretty hot.
Well, it's not as hot as it's been outside. We think we had 35, 36, maybe 36 and a half here today, which is not right.
No, I'm down to 22.
No. Yeah.
I know the experiment doesn't depend on the wide-angle camera, but fields such as robotics, they get an advantage of wide-angle cameras because you see more.
Yeah.
But you also need to avoid distortion or compensate for it. And camera calibration, which was already mentioned, it's a rather common and relatively simple procedure. You show an object such as a checkerboard pattern on a straight unbending surface at multiple positions and poses to the camera. And based on those images, you can calibrate it and compensate for any distortion. So I was thinking, if you were just to display such an object to both of the cameras before liftoff, anyone else could independently verify the amount of distortion in either camera.
Well, if it's just a case,
even compensate.
If it's just a case of showing an object, what sort of objects are you talking about? Any object or
something flat that doesn't bend in the wind with a checkerboard pattern, basically. And if you just display that to the cameras in various positions and poses, like rotate it in 3D, that's enough, 3D. Basically.
Okay, well, I might think on that, but basically, yes, with the wide angle, that's there purely, absolutely purely, just for the view, and with the non-wide angle, we've got the reference frame. But if it's as simple as showing a checkerboard pattern, then yeah, that's a possibility. And for those who have that knowledge and capability, they could perhaps use that. I don't know if I'd set up that calibration properly. I don't know. And the other, I certainly can't make any changes with my camera. It's a very, very basic camera. I don't know all the capabilities of the Git2P90. But as I said as well, I want to try and keep things as simple as possible. But yeah, if it's just a case of getting it, showing it in different positions, and that's enough for someone to do calculations with it, that's an easy win, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, Mr. Sensible.
Hello.
You said you're going to have two strings going across.
I didn't. I said I was going to have a string strung across.
How about having two? One just above centre of frame and one just below centre of frame, because they will always remain parallel to each other.
Anyway, I must be going.
Sorry, say again.
I must be going.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Snark. It's been a pleasure.
Night, Snark.
Night, Snark.
Bye all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. No, I do apologise. Who was it was saying about the two strings?
It was me.
Gary.
Have one above centre frame and one below.
Yeah. Well,
because if they're close to the camera, they will always remain parallel to each other, and then you will be able to use that as a reference to the horizon.
Yes, yeah. And as I said, designs are changing. Okay.
Are you sending up a globe instead of a box here?
well, look, listen, guys. What is interesting is the number of thoughts and comments where people have said things that, obviously you've only come across this as my idea tonight. I've had this bubbling away actually for months. So time has been spent thinking about it. Time has been spent making little improvements, and then with Q's help, further suggestions were made based on his knowledge and experience. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. You guys are coming up with things that have been thought of, okay? Yeah, that is a very good, and I will say, Gary, a very valid point, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, that's how I would approach that.
Yeah.
Because you get through the central view, there is no distortion, but above and below, as you know, there will be. But if they're very close to the camera, which I assume they will be, then that distortion won't come into play. They will remain parallel, and as I say, you've then got yourself a valid reference point.
Well, that's what we hope. That's what we hope. Monochromatic light source just super chatted $4.99 saying, "Oh, fit a TDS meter. I don't know what it measures. It could be unicorn farts for all I know." Quite right. That's a great idea, and I know just the man who can advise me on TDS meters.
And I hope you're going to send a spirit level up with it as well.
Definitely not. Yes.
Well, I actually love the fact that everybody is jumping in with suggestions.
Absolutely.
Feel like, We all want to help.
No, I know, and it's a brilliant community. As I said earlier on, I know that if I just said, if I did this live stream, said, "Hey guys, I want to send up a weather balloon. What do you reckon I should do, or how do you think I should do it, or can anyone lend me?" I know that I'd get suggestions, I'd get help, I'd be loaned equipment, and so on. I know that because I know what a good community all you guys are.
Well, we're all a bunch of geeky nerds, aren't we? So
yeah,
we do this stuff for fun.
So just a wee bit. So, and by the way, I just it was last week. I basically got a very precise spirit level on my desk. I was like, yeah, he was talking about it. It's like, yeah, I have a very high precision spirit level. I was like, what? That exists? That's basically about 5 centimeters wide, about 20 centimeters long, and again about 7 centimeters high, and about 2 kilograms heavy.
Right.
Yeah, and you can measure it with that, and I mean not just detect, I mean measure how level a surface is. And that he used it for setting up the 3D printers at our workplace, and that bucket was precise. And then he put the normal, we put it on my desk, and the precise one just was like, yeah, well, it is way off, and the normal spirit level was like, yeah, it's okay. So okay, that's fine.
Well, of course, with a normal spirit level, the first thing you do is when you think you got it level, turn the spirit level round, see if it's still level.
Yeah, yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
If you buy a normal spirit level from Homebase or B&Q, the first thing you do is take 10 of them off the shelves and line them all up side by side and see which ones agree.
But yeah, that's depending on how precise you want a measurement actually to be. So the one thing was actually a precision tool. The other one is just
indication.
For indication, like it is almost level.
Yeah, but how often do you need that precision?
Yeah, if you're building with wood, usually that is good enough. Usually.
Well, we've got. I was going to say we've got yet another couple of people in the live waiting room. Let me try bringing them in. So far, we're holding our own. So I'm going to bring in 2 people. One name I've heard of. This one I haven't. Junior 1078. Hello, good evening to you. Hello, Junior.
Hello. Yeah, it's Aniceto, actually.
Oh, hello there. How are you?
Yeah, the Junior one's my gamer tag.
Oh, okay. So I'm also going to bring in
the PS4 Pro.
Ah, is that right, the Stingray?
Oh my goodness!
Oh yes, you've been caught, and you even had warning in that I just pulled Junior out of the room. You should have thought, oh my goodness, it might happen to me. But basically, both of you, welcome, Stingray and do you know how do you say Aniceto? Aniceto. Okay. So, guys, what do you think of all this?
You know what? I'm actually I'm actually at a loss for words. I think it'll work. I think, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, awesome. And of course, you know, from my point of view, also, you know, why the Flirts won't do it. Well, you're about to prove why.
I hope so. Again, yes.
Yeah.
And of course, if they think that I have lied or faked it, then they will have to do the same again, won't they?
Yeah, and I know they're not going to.
So do I. I know. Like I said in a couple of places, I want to see them squirm. I want to roll that. I want to take these photos, roll that evidence up, and stuff it down their lying necks. Well, I say that. Some are just mistaken, of course. But there's one or two who I'm sure you can guess happily will lie for T-shirts and whatever.
Well, I remember it will be great entertainment watching the rebuttal videos, though.
I know. And that's what I hope. There'll be a real stir. And that, you know, maybe they'll come up with some interesting arguments. Fair enough. Then that is material for other guys. Perhaps, let's say it was one about the camera distortion. If someone can show using this calibration thing that it's not distorted, that's not something I can do. I don't have the knowledge. but someone else might.
If they come up with some interesting and valid rebuttals, then Satan will skate to work on that day.
Yeah, but I mean, it's if they turn around and said no, it's not true because you're a NASA paid shill, then that's a waste of time. But if they said, look, you know, I believe that, for instance, the amount of curvature you're showing, I agree it looks like this curvature against your straight line reference. However, the amount of curvature is within the error margins or whatever. Okay, fair enough. So then we need to look closer at it. You know, that would be a valid argument. It might not be right, but it's a valid argument. You've got to respect that if it was done as an honest rebuttal.
Yeah, but just remember what they did with Soundly's Pontchartrain stuff. I mean, that's pretty sort of unequivocal demonstration of curvature.
Yes.
You know, not from 98,000 feet, but on, you know, at sea level, and yet, you know, they'd still dismiss it.
Yeah.
You know, in spite of getting a qualified surveyor out there and doing loads of measurements as well, they still just dismiss it. You know, so they'll find a way. Sorry, but they will.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun and games.
Suggest that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had the Black Swan from their side.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this is an equivalent from this side, and they're going to have to, squirm.
You can count on all of us to be there for you when they do come with rebuttals.
Thank you. And my footage, once I've produced my results, will be available for people to use. The images of it up there with the lines and so on. They can, you know, for them as well. I see there's a message from SMLB STCBR saying, I hope Thunderfoot sees this experiment. He's been having a go with Nathan Hoaxley. Yes, he has. And actually, I emailed Thunderfoot. Unfortunately, I didn't think to do it long enough in advance, but I emailed him telling him about tonight, saying if I told him briefly what the experiment was and if he'd give a shout out, but I didn't get any response. But yes, please, if you have any way of contacting Thunderfoot, I did use his email address available via his channel. But if anyone can get hold of Thunderfoot, tell him about it, then I'd be happy to have him weigh in. I have the greatest respect for Phil Mason. I have followed him for years. I followed him right from the beginning of the Why Do People Laugh at Creationists series. So goodness knows how many years that is overall. Quite a number. And I think he's fabulous. I'm a massive fan of his. So if he wants to weigh in with some thoughts, I'm more than happy.
Mr. Sensible,
are you familiar with Glass Monster, Mr. S?
Yes, that was what I was gonna say, because I think he's working with him.
He's what?
Yeah, Glass Monster.
What about him?
He's making something for Thunderfoot, so he has direct contact with him.
Okay. Thanks for letting me know that. Andy Sibley won Super Chat £4.99 saying, make sure you wear a lab coat on the day, otherwise DFOTY Riley will shout pseudoscience at you. Also,
or make sure it's a lab coat.
Any room for an egg on board. Yeah. Only if it
make sure it's a lab coat and not a doctor's or a
chef's outfit.
White
I could
coat,
be like
Riley did not have a lab coat on.
I could be like JM Truth and be outstanding in my field, couldn't I?
Yes, get you a butcher smock.
Mr. Sensible, can I ask a quick question about the experiment? And sorry, I haven't watched your video, so if you've said if you have said this, I apologize. Disclose this, I apologize. Are you taking cloud ceiling height information around the launch?
For what reason?
Well, I just for atmospherics, because obviously the horizon in cloud cover is going to be wherever the horizon will be, plus the elevated cloud cover at that point.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And if you did get that cloud cover, I would offer to both either track the footage to stabilize it and then do two kind of passes on geometry overlays. One being the actual size of the Earth underneath, so we could wireframe it to show what it should look like and see how close that matches. And then I'll also, for giggles, put the flat Earth model there as well to see what that would look like as it's rising, so that you can track them and see which matches more visually accurate.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I can find out. Well, there's a couple of ways. I can find out from somewhere what the cloud ceiling is on the day of launch in the area where I am. But we will be looking a good few hundred miles to the horizon, and we've got no idea exactly which way you're pointing. The cloud ceiling could and probably will differ all the way round, and I don't want to tinker at all with the footage for my videos. However, there is nothing to stop that being done as an additional if we get to that point, or rather once we got to the point, the experiment video is out. Here's a full view from launch to landing, wide angle lens and non-wide angle lens as a follow-up thing. Here is Mr. Sensible's footage now added with wireframe, whatever, because what I don't want is any accusations of CGI. It's going to be straight footage.
You should maybe consider getting SkySpark on board to do that modelling. He's very good at that.
Yeah, but I think Stingray, you have experience of that, don't you?
Oh, I'm a metric crap ton better than Sly, and he knows it.
Fair enough. What can I say?
And I even stopped doing it 9 years ago as well. So that's how good it used to be 9 years ago.
Yes. So
well, I can speak to your expertise.
So what Sensible? You can get the cloud ceiling height, because I've done this, because I had a video which I shot from a commercial flight, and could see curvature on the horizon. And that's out, but it was there was cloud cover. It wasn't. I wasn't seeing the land, and I got in touch with the Met Office, and they were very good. They responded with all the data that they had for the clouds on the day and the time in question. So you can actually get that if you need it.
And I'm sure that without a doubt I could find it out for where I am at the time of the launch. Also, I should be able to corroborate that in that I know the height that the payload is at any given time. So as soon as I hit, I know that it's not like an exact line, but as soon as I reach that point where that looks, I've gone in cloud, I can compare that and see if it equates to cloud ceiling data. But of course, even that data is going to be subject to error bars. So we get a rough idea whether it's, 2,500, 3,000 feet or whatever it is. But if I'm up there, 98,000 feet, and I'm looking in a particular direction at a horizon, I don't know the exact point on the Earth I'm looking at. So I'm not going to be able to find out the cloud ceiling height at that location. What would be good is if it's actually a day with not many clouds, so that we're just looking at, the fuzziness at the horizon rather than clouds hiding the Earth. But it will be what it is. There's nothing you can do about that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you can see enough, I suppose, coastline to work out which way you're looking,
yes,
you could check the META, the private pilot's flight planning weather forecast service. If you can figure out which airfields you're looking near, you can get the weather forecasts for them at the time, and then they should tell you quite a lot of detail about what kind of clouds are around, at what altitude, at what density, and everything else, because pilots like to know these things.
Of course they do. What I'd say is I've got certain skills, and I'm fully aware of other skills that I do not have. And so, with that footage, as you said, if you get happen to be pointing in a direction where there's a fair amount of coastline, hopefully you can, or major rivers, you could perhaps identify where you're looking at. And happily, let's say if you're a debunker, you could take that footage, and then if you can then run calculations, because you can see the height, you can see the let's say it's the Thames estuary, and you can see a particular curve in the Thames or whatever. If that's the case, and you can work things out, by all means do. Be my guest. I will make the footage, the data available, so that if you're able to do something with it, or if someone else is, then that's great.
Can you not just have a magnetometer or compass on board, attached to the camera?
Well, again, it would need to be in front of the camera, which it's all weight.
Well, no, an electronic one wouldn't. You could just record the data over time, and if you've got the time code, if you synchronize the time code of the camera and the recorder, you wouldn't need that.
Well, what we do have is the height. Okay, so we will see maximum height. What we also have is burst point, the point that balloon lets go. So all I have to do is align the maximum height with the burst point, and then all the other data trickles back and should match up with the launch height, and you suddenly see, as you let go, the heights go up. So that should all work. Now, there is software to do that. It's actually not that expensive. It's the same sort of software that's used for overlaying on racetrack videos. So you get laps and times and speeds and how many revs and all this sort of thing. And they do things related to flight as well. It's rather complicated software, and I messed around with it for ages, got it to do something basic, and then I realised it said the free version of this video will only the free version of this software will only work for videos up to 3 minutes long. Oh my goodness! I wasted half a day on that, but then I found another supplier of this software, and it's free. So I have tinkered with that, and it's not the most straightforward software to use. The instructions are not very good, but I have managed to do it. I chose a point on a test video. Actually, it was Bob Nodell's 15 degree per hour, and overlaid some real live but historic flight data from a balloon, and chose the point, and I could actually see the altitude go up and then turn around and go down again. So I can overlay that. Now, other things like pressure, temperature, and whatever, they could all be fed into that. But then you're probably talking about something like a Raspberry Pi or Arduino type thing, more weight, more technical knowledge, and it just gets very, very complicated very quickly. Honestly, just working out the amount of weight you've got, the amount of gas you need to lift, the right amount so it doesn't go too high too quickly, that it goes high enough so you get a burst, then the balloon size, the weight of the balloon, then the parachute you needed, then the weight of the parachute, and with those extras you have to adjust the gas. It gets very nasty very quickly, and I'm just happy to send a non-distorting camera up with a bleeding line in front of it. Well, that shut everyone up.
But Mr. Sensible, if you get that logo to Teespring, then at least sell one shirt.
Nice one, thank you.
Because it's a cool logo. So
isn't it just? Let me show you something, guys. 1 second. Here.
That's about 30 seconds for us.
Yeah, hang on.
I don't know if the light. I'll tilt it a bit. This was my original artwork. It'll come through in a minute on the stream. My original artwork that I produced was the basic idea, which then Osvaldo Greco then turned into that beautiful logo patch for me. Oh.
Yeah, that's really nice, isn't it, that patch?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
There. Hopefully that's come through enough.
Yeah.
You see the level of my artwork. I know where my skills lie and where they don't lie.
Don't give up your day job.
Sorry?
Don't give up your day job.
Oh, okay. If you're sure.
That looks fantastic.
No, it's good.
How much for that?
What, for that original?
At least it's on a sheet of paper, not a napkin with a coffee ring.
Or one of those flat Earth style special note paper that's perforated both ends.
Auction it, Mr. Sensible.
Auction it,
and it's quilted.
The original artwork. Auction
it. I'll just see if it'll clean up. Auction it in aid of what? What should it be in aid of?
In aid of your next experiment, perhaps. And I can hear Pip chuckling in the background there.
Oh dear. Oh, I shall bear that in mind. But there is the competition. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to getting hold of the actual patches. They should be, I think, around 10 centimeters across. I have seen they actually produce a software version, how it will look once it's stitched, and where, for instance, a colour doesn't quite match one of their threads, they basically mix and match. So you get bars. Do you know what I mean? So they mix the colour using different threads.
Yeah.
It was just amazing. And I know they're already completed. They're bought and paid for. I'm just waiting for delivery. So I will get one of those shown on one of the videos, and I will explain what people. It will be a simple competition, but obviously when it comes to it, if anyone enters, they will need to give their name and address. I don't view that as a harvesting thing. Any entries will all go into one email folder, and at the end, every single one will be deleted. I'm sorry, I know people just have to trust me on that, but I can't think of another way to do it. If anyone does come up with a brilliant way, then that's great. I'll happily do that.
Well, Mr. Sensible, I think we all trust you with that because,
Thank you.
well,
I did it once
you seem
before.
one of the people in the debunk community that is most valuing their privacy.
Thank you. And I do. I do. Talking of Thunderfoot, I was around on his channel when he got doxxed. He was always known as Thunderfoot, and he was doing his Why Do People Laugh at Creationists. And I believe that on one of his videos, he touched on Islam. And this Muslim guy was not happy and said he actually released a video, and it's quite threatening, and said, "I'm coming for you. I know where you are." And the whole video made you feel very uncomfortable. And then at the end, he said, "Phil Mason," and named the university where he's working. So his name was out in the internet world, which is why he is known now as Dr. Phil Mason. So I'm not doxing him. But no. That was such an underhand and disgusting thing to do. Basically, this guy threatened him and tried to get his job lost. And that's
I'm afraid that's what religion does to people.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to go into all the
in
ins
some
and outs of religion.
cases.
Yeah, in some cases. I'm not going to tar everyone with the same brush, not by a long chalk. The point was that was someone who used underhand and uncalled for techniques to deal with an argument instead of presenting evidence against it. So anyway, having seen that and really understanding how doxing could destroy someone's life, I'm always extremely careful. And like, for instance, with my patrons, I see quite a bit of information about them. I would not dream of giving that information. Who was it was in here? Someone was in here earlier on. I can't see if the name's still in there. And they said about me pleasuring their wife. And
Leo.
Sorry?
Leo.
Yes,
Leo. Yeah.
And I thought, do you know, I know that. That's a patron from something that has been said. And he confirmed that. But I did not give his patron name because I don't want to connect that name, which I read out, Leo something or other, with my patron's name.
No.
And it's not because he's a patron. If that was a flat earther, I wouldn't do that either. And I mean, I've had email addresses for Anthony Riley, although I've ended up losing that, and others. And I wouldn't dream of using that. I've been told of the town and been offered the address that a high-ranking flat earther has, and the person offered it to me in case I wanted it, and I just said, no thanks, I don't want that information, because I'm not going to be using it for anything. And, I wouldn't dream of it. I can think he's an idiot, I can think he's wrong, I can think he's quite a nasty person, but I'm still not going to use that information.
Of course, and one has to maintain one's integrity.
Yeah.
In these matters.
I think if you try, you can probably find me, because if I go on a stream and I join like a hangout, it uses my my regular name, and my Twitter is my regular name. So Yeah, I
exactly.
don't really care.
There are ways. I mean, some people can be quite open. I would actually be quite happy to be a lot more open, but for various reasons that I can't go into, I'm unable to. But so I really, really respect people. The whole thing from someone who's just got a secret name and never gives any information at all, through to people who are quite happy to post their phone number and zip code, postcode. That's fine. But whatever person wants to reveal.
Yeah, I'm the same, Mr. Sensible. I'm very private, and I have to be because of the work I used to do.
Exactly.
So it's very difficult to find me on the internet, to find out my actual name and address and that kind of stuff, if it's there at all.
I'll tell you something interesting, though. I don't know how many of you were around or remember. I did a video where David Oliver, good night to you. Thank you for joining us. I did a video where I showed the ISS. I showed heavens above, predicted path of the ISS, then walked out there and filmed the ISS with my phone. Do you know what someone managed to do? They obviously knew the day when I filmed it, and they knew the time I was filming it. They tried to calculate where I was. And do you know what? They didn't get it exactly right because I had misled about the time or something. I can't remember what I'd misled. But it's just as well because they got a line and they said somewhere between this town and that town. And if they'd had all the data, they would have got me on that path. That still wouldn't have got my address or my name or anything like that. But it just shows you, and they weren't being malicious, but it just shows you how easy people can be tracked down and how the simplest clue could give something away.
Yeah, like I could have recorded where Creaky lives because he's got a Snapchat, and I quickly pointed out to him, "Hey,
be careful you don't dox him now."
No, I said, "Hey, look out because you're sharing your location," which Snapchat standard does. So,
well, of course,
I think that's a stupid thing. I've had more people that share that, and I say that, and they say, "Oh, does it share that?" And yes, it does.
Yeah.
And
well, of course,
I think that's not a good thing for Snapchat to do.
No. And of course, I know exactly where Creaky lives because I've been in his house and in his studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying nothing.
No, and that's okay. If somebody doesn't want to say it, then don't say it. But like Sarcastic Barman, he gladly says where his pub is.
Absolutely.
And says come over, and then that's.
Yeah.
But
and that's absolutely fine. And I know other people who are quite free with their information. As I said, I would be freer, but I'm unable to be. But even so, I would be very careful about what information I gave and to who, because some people can be quite determined, and there's so many ways you can try and track someone down. It really is quite scary. But as FE Peer Review says, why do people want to intrude on people's privacy that way? Well, some people just out of hate, they can't win the argument, so they'll try and get you. But other people, I'm afraid, are just nutters, trolls, nasty. Take your pick.
There was someone in a forum years ago complaining about this creepy old guy who's always hanging around the park and just stares at her son whenever they go there.
Yeah.
And weeks later, she said that she and her son had got the, insert time here, train into a particular city and hung around and got the particular time train back. She was just, talking about how her day had been. I thought, I wonder how many trains do leave that city at that time. I went and looked, and there's only one. And it goes on a particular line with no junctions on it. And I looked at the times it arrives at the stations along there and figured out, which of those stations... Sorry, she didn't say the time she got the train in. She said how long it took to get into town. Yeah. And I was able to figure out from its timetable which station it must be, and then from that figure out which playground, this creepy old guy hung around and asked, "Would you like me to go and hang around that particular playground and stare back?" How did you know it was that one?
But that's like good detective work,
told
isn't
me.
it? I'll just say, Bjorn Kamitz, thank you, Bjorn, for joining us, and you take care. And I'm looking forward to the experiment too. And I am going to take this opportunity because Colon has very kindly reminded me. I'm going to take this opportunity to run my Patron reel and say thank you to my amazing patrons. With massive thanks for all the wonderful support from my patrons, including new patrons Irish Dublin, Bob Yake, Kiri Mack, Brainery, and my latest patrons Paul Howard, Leo Banks and Loretta Carroll. Thank you all so very much. So thank you everyone, and tonight has been absolutely phenomenal. Those super chats have blown my mind. So yeah, thank you to the super chatters, thank you to those who are members, and thank you as always to those patrons who have supported me for such a long time, month in, month out. Thank you. So you're back on, guys.
Yeah, it actually did rain super chats, didn't it?
It did. I mean, it was quite astounding. It really was. I was going to say I've never seen anything like that. I did actually come across a YouTube channel which was showing really high super chats. I'm not sure if they were just on YouTube or on other platforms, their equivalent, where people suddenly got dropped whatever the maximum is on that platform, suddenly seeing their faces, and it's amazing. There are some people who are so kind, so generous, so fine, and it's nice to come across them. It really is.
When I saw the big super chats come into the chat, and that were the moments when I started looking at the screen, like, see your reaction, because you could see at the moment you noticed those chats, those super chats, and it was like, what?
Everyone in the waiting room is going, wow.
Yeah.
I should have come in and I'd have gone, wow. Yeah, they were very wow, weren't they? It's amazing.
Yes.
And I mean, I with my patrons, I mean, I've had patrons for the longest. Only had members. I'm not sure when that came in at 5K. I think is when I started members. So I've had these patrons, and thanks to my patrons, I've got proper video editing software. I have proper lighting. You should go back and have a look at one of my earlier videos and see the lighting there. I have this amazing Rode microphone and boom arm. Okay, simple thing. I bought a whiteboard. I bought that graphics tablet. I've bought and paid for these patches. Do you know what I mean? It's really helped the channel and improve things. I think, and I hope. And so yeah, I absolutely love it. I am so grateful, and I don't think I'll ever get tired of saying that. In fact, I posted on my Patreon today, humble thanks, a message to all my patrons, because yeah, I feel like that.
Well, I'm thankful for your Patreons as well, because they do support the content that I like. So, and I support it by actually watching all the ads and a super chat every now and then.
Well, I was going to say, Brainless, I absolutely do not want a single person who does not super chat member or patron. I do not want a single person who doesn't do that to feel guilty. I really don't, because this is the real world. We're talking real money. Not everyone has the money to spare, and even if they do, they might think, do you know, I like this, but I'm not paying for it, and that's absolutely fine. Just coming along, joining in the community, giving a thumbs up, that is support, and I do appreciate it. Perhaps I don't say that often enough, but it really is the case. Honestly, I'm going to go all emotional now.
You're welcome.
Quick, somebody get me a tissue. Oh,
yeah, no, but yeah, of course you shouldn't be forcing people to pay. Like someone showed on one of those Twitch streamers
Oh,
that
yeah,
like
that girl.
basically forced their viewers to pay it. And it was like that was really cringy.
It was despicable, wasn't she? So why haven't you super chatted or whatever? I make this content. Don't you think it's worth it? Wow, self-entitled mare.
Sounds a bit irony.
Yeah.
When
I still haven't got 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, but like
let's talk about Unirock again.
That was Arwen, wasn't it? I haven't got 1,000 subscribers. What the hell is going on?
That was Arwen.
Oh, that was pathetic and desperate.
I sit here every day, blah 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 blah.
I'm the only one who's been here from the very beginning. I don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. Was Arwen?
Yeah,
I've been in this game for
make better content.
I've been in this game for over 5 years, and I've got 96 subscribers, but I don't give a bugger about it.
Unirock is the guy who talks for 3 hours about whatever seems to be getting views lately, but only lets people who bought memberships join the side chat.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I to be honest, I don't want to go into that at all because I know that Unirock is quite a name. He hooked up with me and came on my Discord, and we had a couple of messages backwards and forward. Next thing I knew, he'd fallen out of favour with just about everyone. As far as I'm concerned, whoosh, I wasn't involved. I know nothing about it, and to be honest, I probably want to keep it that way.
Yeah,
I don't get involved in stuff like that.
No, not worth it.
Yeah, so I can't comment on the whys, the wherefores, who kill, do. I'll just leave it at that. Oh, hello, Chris Durham. I did see you earlier on. Some of us can only support you in musical notes, but Chris, the musical notes you supported me with are so sweet. Sorry?
I'm going to look for his channel and give him a plug.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris did the intro, which has been used on this live stream. It's also used on the first design video. It will be used on the subsequent videos. The only one I'm not sure is when I come to the final full flight videos, because, yeah, people might be interested in watching it, but I know there's a community of people who are interested in just watching that, and they're not going to be interested in all the flat earth side of things. They just want to see balloon flights, so I'm going to do it as pretty vanilla. Everything will be there with a link and so on, but it'd be pretty vanilla, so I probably won't be using it on that. It'll be a very simple intro. Here's a balloon flight to X thousand feet, you know.
Yeah. Well, and Chris says he can only support by musical notes.
I know.
I think I wish I could help in those kinds of ways, or like do art for a channel or something. But
yeah, but you see my art. My art is rubbish. I can't sing. I can't play music. I can't do fancy calculations. Everyone's got their own skills. You know, someone. I hooked up with that guy Q about the balloons. The skill he has is worth $1 million to me. Do you know what I mean? Someone else would have a different skill. I don't know, whatever it is. That's just not applicable at all in this case. But another thing that comes along in a few weeks' time, maybe it'll be the perfect thing. So I wouldn't worry about it. I like I said, I appreciate that you join in. Brainless, you've been commenting a long time. You've been on the stream a few times. That's brilliant.
Few times.
Sorry?
A few times.
A few times, yeah.
I always try to be here. The last time I actually got out of bed when I got the notification really late.
Oh wow, there's dedication for you.
It's always fun. Like you, I'm not too social, but this community is making me more social.
Yeah, people might not believe that, but I was actually tested just a few months ago, just for my own not peace of mind, for my own pleasure at knowing. Got myself examined with regard to Asperger's, depending how you say it, and they could sort of identify traits, but they couldn't diagnose me with that. Now, it doesn't bother me. It was just can I get an explanation for why I am like I am, you know. Unfortunately, I can't get a firm answer. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, I'm not very social, but I'm very much... I get a tunnel vision on something, whether it's making YouTube videos or previously rebuilding a car. Subsequent to that, a massive fish tank project. I get my whole being set on something and I concentrate on it 100%. I regard that as a strength. The weakness is I don't do so well socially. So, Mrs. Sensible is rather gobsmacked that I'll sit here with a mic. And we've got 118 people here now. I think I'm not sure how many we had on the stream at the peak. Actually, I can probably... Oh, it doesn't tell me.
It was getting on. I think it was getting on for 200.
Yeah.
Over 200 at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that I can sit there and talk to those people, she finds amazing. And I did see someone else says, "Yeah, but you can do pantomime." Thank you. That's been shown. And Mike one says, "I can do an awesome Captain Picard impression." Make it so. But Larry XK super chatted $10 US saying, "You're the only creator on YouTube that I support, Mr. S. There had been others, but I got tired of their contents after a while. You're the best. Enjoy your content and your personality and presentation." Larry, that's lovely. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. And Larry is one of my patrons, so you should see his name scroll across the top at some point. Thank you, Larry.
Well, I support many creators as well, but just a few.
Yeah.
But like on Twitter, was Res Rhetoric. His dad was ill. He had a big bill, and Catz and Crafty commented on that, and I actually immediately said, "Well, if you start a charity stream for that, count me in for supporting that," because it was a really big bill.
Yeah.
If you look it up on Twitter, then I think, why is that stuff not better organized in America? Like, if you get ill, most people will probably not be able to pay that, and will just die.
Well, obviously different. Again, I'm not going to go into the politics side of things, but yeah, that is an issue, should we say, in the States.
Yeah.
And this is the beauty, and again, I'm not going to get into politics, but the beauty of the United Kingdom's National Health Service. Someone needs, well, quite frankly, treatment that costs hundreds and hundreds of thousands of pounds. They don't pay a penny because they need it. And basically, we're all supporting that. But that's a discussion perhaps for another day and another channel.
Yeah.
I could shout out a channel where it might fit. Beau of the Fifth Column.
I've not come across that one.
American politics channel, but he's I think he likes Medicare for all as an idea.
Okay. I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I know, there's heavy politics involved. So I do find it interesting. And if I researched enough to hold, what's the word, an educated view on it, because, hey, I'd be making some massive suppositions otherwise, then I'd be happy to sit down with someone and talk, discuss, even argue, and then have a beer afterwards about it. But I'm not going to do it here. John Rapp has just super chatted $2 Australian saying, "Don't care if nuts or funny looking, be sensible."
I just noticed something this evening, Mr. Sensible.
What's that then, Pip, me old China?
Not had a fag.
Well, I have just lit one.
I was going to say, I was just trying to light up.
Yeah.
So
this is the first one. And to be honest, I haven't really even been touching the e-cig. Maybe one or two puffs, if that. That shows you how into this I've been and how excited. And in fact, the cigarette's already gone out.
I've got to drop out. So thanks for having me on, and good luck with it. I look forward to the next video, and if I can be of any assistance I don't have lots of money, so I can't send you money. But
don't expect it.
I can be of any assistance. Let me know.
Thank you. Thank
Cheers,
you,
buddy.
Miles.
Okay.
You take care.
Night, Miles.
And thanks for coming
You
tonight.
Good night, Miles.
Cheers,
Night, Miles.
guys.
Good to see you.
And guys, we've been going now for I think 3 hours coming up on. Oh, it says start. Oh, of course, we started after. Oh, actually, it's probably about 2.5, isn't it? I'm not sure, but
Well, if I scroll all the way back, it says 2:50. So.
Oh, 2 hours 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be winding up. So hey, we got a few minutes. We'll take it up to about the 3 hours. If it's a couple minutes under or over, it doesn't matter. So I don't know if any of you guys have any. Actually, just before we do, I see there's a few people in the waiting room. I think all but one have been on here already. I'll tell you what. Let me just quickly grab the one who I don't think has been on. See if he wants to have a quick word, because it is open mic. We've managed to get everyone on so far. Hello, Mark Tin.
Oh, Mr. Sensible, hello.
Hello. I'm just going to squeeze you in at the end.
Oh, thank you.
So I do apologise. I don't know how long you've been waiting there. As you can see, it's been rather busy tonight. But I thought, yeah, come on, let's try and get you in, because I think the others who are sat in the room with you have all been on. So
yes.
What are your thoughts on MAGE?
Seems very interesting. Yes. Yeah, I'll be excited to see it go. Definitely.
Yes. Yes. Me too. Me too. Do you have any ideas of things that could have been, or perhaps should have been added, or anything like that?
Well, people have been making some suggestions, as they've come on, and also in the side chat, and they've pretty much covered everything I thought of. So,
okay.
Yeah, the only thing I thought of at the beginning was calibration chart for the camera, but that's also been covered. So.
Yes, and to be honest, that's something I knew nothing about. Absolutely nothing. I'd never heard of one before, because I know nothing about cameras from that point of view. So I have learnt something tonight. And yeah, a positive suggestion. We'll take that on board and see if we can use that in any way. I shall find out more about it.
Yeah, I was going to mention that one, but I ended up putting it in general chat instead. That and having a balloon with like a tiny amount of air in it and the neck sealed, and filming that expanding as you go up and contracting as it comes back down. I think someone already mentioned that too.
That has been done, and I've seen that done on videos as well, yes. But when you think about it, the whole thing with a weather balloon relies on it getting high enough that the atmospheric pressure is low enough to cause the balloon to swell to the extent that it bursts. Otherwise, you don't get the thing back again.
Yeah. My other idea was for tracking it. You said you can only track it when it's below a certain altitude.
If you're using the cell phone network, yes.
Yeah.
There are other means of tracking it. There is GPS. There is also satellite tracking.
Yeah, I had the idea of hanging a retro reflector from the bottom of it and shining a bright light at it and watching it through a telescope. And if you did that, you could also ask the radar people, either air traffic control or coastal defence radar, to keep an eye on it for you as well.
Well,
I'm sure the RAF will be able to see it.
Well, in the States, they actually put radar reflectors. They're very, very simple things. You basically get two discs and you put a slot, so you mount them so that the two discs form a cross, and they're covered in tin foil, basically, and that's a radar reflector. In the UK, that's not required. And I don't know how... I mean, with the GPS, we should be able to get it down to a few feet. So that's the perfect solution. The satellite tracking is obviously extremely accurate, but you're relying on line of sight. So if the payload tips over, you lose it. And the cell phone is only for below a certain sort of height, and then you're just reliant on being in a cell phone network area. So swings and roundabouts, one's a lot cheaper than the other, another one's more reliable than another. So it's, you have to, you pays your money and takes your pick, really. And I've received a lot of advice.
So with your GPS thing, will you be able to actually track it live?
Yes.
Or
yes,
okay.
You can track it live.
Yeah. Right. I know you can get a thing that will GPS whatever altitude, and when you pick it up afterwards, you know where it's been. But I thought that's not quite as helpful.
Yeah, well, it does store all the data, it broadcasts, and you capture the data anyway, and you end up with a telemetry file. That's the word I was looking for earlier on. You end up with a telemetry. It's basically a comma separated variable text file, which I can then plug into this software, and as long as I've got a point that I can align to, like launch point or burst point, tying that to the data in the telemetry file, the figures will then be populated time-wise correctly throughout the video. So yeah, as you can see, there's just so much involved. It's been a fascinating project to learn about, and I suppose that's the other reason I want to show people the design as at the original design, and then as it develops, is it takes people through what's involved, not just, I sent up a weather balloon, here's the results. Because I want people involved. I want to know what's involved in putting something like this up, what the risks are, what's expensive, what's cheap, and so on. And everyone's going quiet. I think, guys, at that point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the stream now. So I'll say a massive thank you to all of you, and all of you who have been in the voice chat and have already gone. Thank you. It's been great to have so many people participate, and it's worked quite well, I think. We haven't had shouting matches and stomping all over each other, have we?
No, we're very well behaved.
Absolutely. Yeah, we didn't get any flat earthers on here, so
no. And I would have been happy to have a flat earther. We did invite that flat earth Mick. He didn't come in, and Multi Tom Tom didn't even show his face in the side chat tonight, so I couldn't invite him on. Never mind.
We missed him. No.
Yeah.
He was probably scared that Irish Demon would come on.
It could be. So what I
However,
do,
I believe it's a cube.
what I'm going to do, guys, is
Tom thinks he's an educator.
Oh, he is. But he's an educator for those 200 or 300 years down the line who will recognise his brilliance. That's what he said.
Exactly. Yeah, he's still in the dark ages. So.
So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you all over to the live waiting room. You can hang out there for a while. I will join you after I've managed to wrap up the stream. Okay, so I'm going to say goodnight to each and every one of you. Andy M, thank you very much for being here tonight, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For having me.
Catch you later. Brainless Steel NL, thank you to you two for taking part, as you have done several times.
Good night, and good night to the side chat.
Good night, Brainless. And dog, to you, sir. Glad to sort of make your acquaintance. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and good night.
Very welcome. Good night. And Edwulf Slitchverter, good night to you, sir.
Good night, Mr. S, and really looking forward to seeing these designs.
Well, you see my artwork. I wouldn't look forward to it that much. It's more talking about the general concept and that sort of design rather than hard measurements or anything like that. But I appreciate that. Okay, cheers. You take care, pal. See you soon. And Gary Isle of Wight.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Sensible. It's been a blast. Thank you very much, and good night to the side chat.
Very welcome. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that. And Ion, I know you weren't in here too long, but thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much. Good luck with the project. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. And I'm going to skip past and go to you, Papara. As always, a pleasure, Pip.
Thank you very much. It was a great night and worth cancelling my stream.
Oh, bless your little cotton socks. Thank you, Pip. And I'm glad you joined us. I really am. You take care, love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And Mark Tin, you've only been in here a few minutes. So, again, I apologise for that. And I hope you understand. But thank you for joining me tonight.
No, thank you for squeezing me in.
Said the actress to the bishop. You take care. And I hope to see you on one of the streams again sometime, yeah?
Sure, yeah. Best of luck.
Okay, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, let me just make sure that desktop audio is switched off. Guys, today has been amazing. I spent all day running around, making sure I've got all the ducks lined up, and then sat here going through the chat as we were leading up to the live premiere, followed by the live stream. So excited. I so enjoyed it. And then we've had a great time chatting to everyone, the side chat and on voice. And wow, those super chats. My mind is blown. Incredibly generous and very, very much appreciated. So thank you, super chatters. Thank you, members. And of course, thank you to my wonderful patrons. And I will say once more, thank you very much. Please make sure you've got notify hit so that you get notified of the further videos, because the next MAGE video is coming up about a week's time. I will also be on Conspiracy Catz channel on Friday the 6th. Okay, I'll have a video out tomorrow about a totally unrelated subject. Thank you, take care, and stay sensible.